Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to Unnamed Sports Show right here on Guerilla Cross Radio. Streaming live on GuerillaCross.com, the Guerilla Cross app, Facebook Live on the Guerilla Cross page. I'm your host, Quan59. We got a big show for you today. We're going to be talking about NBA playoffs, Kawhi Leonard's big game winner, and more right here on Unnamed Sports Show. I'm your host, Quan59. Got my man Yoke Dog in the building, Hollywood Huff. What's good?
Oh, man, you know. Taking it one day at a time.
All right.
Way to elaborate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wearing that logo.
Hey, man.
Oh, nice. I
Logo
didn't even
again.
notice it.
Got
All
the
right.
Yoke Dog.
Way to promote your own brand. That's good stuff.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, man. Sometimes you got to take care of yourself.
You always have to take
You should have a hot pink logo so it shows up on the screen.
Plus, it would just look good.
I'll keep that in mind. Hot pink.
It would look good.
All right.
It would look good. And we got, with a little darker shade of gray, we got my man Death Star Dave in the building. What's good?
Man, happy to be here. Some great action. I got to catch snippets at work yesterday, but I did see all the important parts.
Oh, yeah.
NBA action was fantastic yesterday. Did some good hockey, too. I mean, just, sports are great.
Yeah. And we got Josh going live on his own thing again. I guess he's working out, so he had to...
Sun's out, guns out.
No. I'm going live because about 4 people over the last week were like, I never see your show anymore.
Watch party.
And I was like, yeah, I've been doing the watch party. They were like, it doesn't come up. I'm like, all right, I'll do one.
Tag 'em in.
I don't got time to tag people. I barely got time to start the watch party.
Wow.
You barely got time to show up here.
Your multitasking skills are
son.
at a minimal. Your multitasking skills are like Ben Simmons' three-point shot.
Oh,
That was
non-existent?
that right there, sir,
Man.
is a fallacy.
That cuts deep.
Complete lies what that is. Trust believe.
Either it's true or it's a technical foul. It's one of the other.
Could be both.
No. There's no truth in that statement at all.
Man.
Just in time, Josh Williams in the building.
I appreciate being here. I'm always happy to be in the Guerilla Cross house.
We appreciate it
Yeah.
as
Gorilla
well.
Cross House.
Yeah.
All right.
House Gorilla?
The House of Gorillas.
The House of Guerilla.
House Gorilla. What is this, Game of Thrones? House Gorilla.
So I saw Game of Thrones, somebody without a hand had a hand when he hugged somebody.
Uh-oh.
What? What's up with this show's
Dave.
editing?
No, they have...
They had a Starbucks cup in there
Listen.
last week.
Isn't there a guy with no hands?
No,
and he hugged somebody.
No,
he
he's
had
missing
a hand.
a hand. One.
Okay, so they
So
made
he
a big
doesn't-
deal about it on the
Yes,
internet
a
for
big
no
deal
reason.
about nothing. It's
Okay.
it's people trying to
Yeah.
listen. They
Trying to
can just go
recreate a
off the
Starbucks
fact that the show
cup.
is just not good anymore. And as much as I've loved it, I'm happy that it's ending, and I will definitely be watching next week.
All right.
Next week's the last episode.
That's it.
Oh,
That's all
really?
She wrote.
Oh, wow.
That's it. Yeah, it was
That's
only
quick.
It was
No
only
more.
a 6-episode season.
Listen. I don't know what us white people are going to go back to doing.
Hey
Talking
man, it's
about
more.
black
It's
people?
more. Oh, that never stopped.
Watch the reruns of The Sopranos and Sex in the City.
But I mean, it's just a lot of white culture is going right out the window. the heads of whitedom were like, it's time to appropriate something.
Oh my god!
Just in time for the summer.
Listen, if you want to call in, hit us up 702-608-3259. Once again, that number is 702-608-3259. We're here for the next hour and a half. So yeah, we're going to jump right into the NBA playoffs, and your boy Kawhi Leonard and his amazing shot. Dave,
Whew.
you missed it?
No, I saw it.
I saw that.
You saw the shot?
I saw that at. Oh, Dave, go ahead.
I mean, that's fine. You could.
I mean, just fully covered by Joel Embiid, too.
It was good defense.
I mean, that was great defense.
There's nothing
By
else you could do.
Embiid, but was a good defense by Simmons, who just let him kind of go
No,
by.
it was switch. It was switch.
It was a switch.
Switch.
It was switch
Could've been
and
double up.
a better defensive player
No,
fully
not-
covered him.
There was no one else around for him to pass to.
I'd have to watch.
Hold on. Also, you have to
highlight.
remember, Kawhi Leonard
It was great
is
defense.
such a smart player that normally I always talk about he's like the best shooting flat shot in the league. And he knew that Embiid was coming at him. So that was the most arch.
18.5 feet in the air.
Kawhi doesn't really do fadeaways either.
No.
Like, that was falling out of bounds.
And
he ended up out of bounds.
He was running.
Well,
he was
because-
full speed running.
He had no
Jumped.
chance. He had no chance to stop and like fully set himself.
Do anything.
Right.
Because Embiid was there.
Yeah, no,
Embiid
Embiid
played
wasn't stopped.
great defense.
Eh.
And that was some kind of shot. That's a killer right there. That shot.
It made Joel
it,
Embiid cry. That's how good that shot.
No, well that
Crying's
and then-
okay.
That
Crying's
look,
okay.
look. I honestly, in situations like that, I respected it because he gave everything he had.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Like, so if you go like Chris Bosh at the end of the finals, that one was sad. That one was more funny than it was sad because he was like, He had to be like consoled, walk to the locker room. Like they gave us the like locker room camera. Like I felt bad for him, but it was funny. Joel Embiid, I actually did feel bad because it's like I've been there. That's not fun. Not to lose like that.
Well, I
not
mean,
on the ugliest game winner of all time.
Just remember, not just have. I mean, none of us have been there. I mean, that's a game winner on a series.
I mean, I lost at the YMCA, but
Yeah, I mean, we've all taken some L's, but
well, I
not
mean,
at that level.
no, I mean, like championship games. Like, has anybody ever lost a championship game?
I never lost.
In tournaments. In tournament, I have.
No, I've lost in like this is it. Missed
Yeah.
the game winner too.
Oh yeah, but that's not the same as the NBA
Well,
playoffs.
we're not
game
in the
7.
playoffs. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
everybody's had their moments of crying. I literally cried the
And
whole way home.
in relative,
That was
in
easy.
perspective.
How old were you, though?
Whatever, yeah, like
And how many millions did you have in your pocket?
No, there was no money
Okay.
involved. This was just for the love of the game.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what some people are mad about. Like, dude, you're a millionaire
Oh,
and you're
no,
gone.
no,
then they're done.
They
that's
don't understand the
stupid.
game. Then if
That's
that's
stupid.
It.
As I was saying
Like-
before we started, I was talking to Quan, and I was like, you know who didn't cry after the game? Ben Simmons. Because I guarantee he didn't care whether they won or lost.
That's
He's
terrible.
ready
And-
for a vacation
and that's
to
and
not
that's
work
my-
on his shot.
That is literally my biggest beef with the 76ers is Ben Simmons' attitude and Joel Embiid's attitude. This game, he played like a beast. Even you could say these playoffs, he played like a beast. But you're looking at his body and you know this man should be in much better shape at his age with his physical abilities. And that's what drove me nuts about that last play. It's not saying like, oh, had he hit the gym more, it's a guarantee he would have been able to stop that. But they could have been in a whole completely different situation if one, Ben Simmons had any type of jump shot at all, or Joel Embiid was in better shape coming into this series. Those two things make a huge difference
That
on
makes
just
it-
the way the game is played.
Makes a dent. for
So it's
sure.
really hard for me to feel sorry for a guy who don't work out the way he's supposed to. It's hard for me to feel sorry for the other guy who everybody on this earth know Ben
I
Simmons
feel
needs
you.
to get his
I'm gonna
jump shot
stop you there.
together.
I agree with Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid is by far their best player. And you
Okay.
can look at the plus minus in that whole series. It is ridiculous, the plus minus. Those 3 minutes he wasn't in the game was like a minus 11
Well, because they
for
couldn't-
3 minutes.
I mean,
they couldn't take him off the floor. And realistically, 45 points in a do or die playoff game, I don't care what level of conditioning you're at, you're going to be
45
gassed
minutes.
out no matter what.
You said points, minutes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was
Excuse me.
about to
45
freak out.
No,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
he
yeah.
had 45?
No, but
I heard it,
45
but I knew what he said.
45 minutes, he's out of shape. We all know he's not in the best shape. A lot of that's because of the injury issues. But like I said, the problem more so is it's bad coaching, number one,
I agree there.
continuously. And number two, part of the reason that bad coaching, part of the reason he has to start behind the 3-point line is because Ben Simmons is down there below the basket. He's in the way. Ben Simmons is just in the way.
And these are the facts that support what I'm getting at. Is that these guys need to do. Granted, Joel Embiid is great, best player on the floor. I get that, but
second best on the floor.
All right, second best on the on his team is what I mean.
Best on his team.
He's playing at level 95. He could be playing at level 100. He could be playing at level 105. That's what drives me nuts. That's
how many levels do you have?
It's the same thing.
105 out of 100.
107. That's how many we got, John. 107.
But I gotta ask this question.
And it's the same beef that a lot of people had with LeBron. It's not that he's great. It's that he could be better. You get what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
I'm not saying.
But
Joel Embiid sucks.
isn't that part of growth in the NBA? You take these losses and then you grow from that the next season.
But I'm willing to bet money because of their maturity. Go ahead.
One team wins every year, right?
Correct.
So that means every other team has to keep growing and keep getting to that place.
Correct.
If Golden State would have blown up the team like a lot of people want Philly to do, which I think they need to keep everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If Golden State would have blown up their team when Mark Jackson couldn't get them over that hump, guess what? They wouldn't be doing what they're doing now.
Happened.
Every team, Shaq and Kobe lost how many times, got swept out of the playoffs.
Kobe shot those air balls.
As a rookie.
Utah Jazz.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question?
And you have to hold on.
Did Kobe get better?
Can I talk?
Go
That's what
Go
I'm
ahead.
talking about.
No, but that's what
that's the whole point in this.
Saying.
Is they progress and they get better and the teams get better. You can't just blow up the team.
Well,
you can't just throw those players under the bus. It's the progression. Joel Embiid, first of all, he played sick in this series.
He did.
Okay.
He
had a whole different kind of sicknesses. He had
but he played
stomach issue.
This dude played
fever.
This dude played great in this series. Is he a little bit out of shape? Can he be in better shape? Of course. He's not even close to being the worst person in basketball shape in this league right now, in the playoffs right now.
No, not at all.
Saying that, yeah, can he? Of course. That's something you grow to learn. Lamar Odom's ate candy until his last season in the NBA. I know part of that was to wean himself off the crack.
Then he transferred to nose candy.
Anyway.
But, I mean, even Kobe Bryant, you look at people like this that had to change their diet eventually because, okay, I know what I need to do. Joel Embiid is still young enough to know this summer he will.
Oh,
but listen, he was great for the Sixers. They wouldn't be in the playoffs without him.
And here's the thing.
This is only 2 years out of the process of them. They had the first pick in the draft 2 years ago. At this time, they were in the draft lottery getting the first pick.
Markell.
They've went to the playoffs 2 years in a row since then. And everybody expects them to be the best team in the East going to the finals.
I'm not expecting them to be the best.
It's still a process.
But they could be better.
No, but okay, to Steve's point, what Steve is saying, yes, everything that you're saying is exactly right. The Bulls had to go through the Pistons. The Pistons had to go through the Celtics. Everyone has a progression. What Steve is saying is that we don't know if Ben Simmons is actually going to ever take that step.
And I'm not talking about. I didn't say one word about Ben Simmons.
Well, no, he was talking about both. He was talking about both. He was talking about both
because of their maturity levels.
Yeah.
At this point, they're not showing the maturity of a person who's going to say, you know what, I have to do better.
Joel Embiid definitely is.
I'm not seeing
Joel Embiid definitely
sitting on the bench looking at the cell phone in the playoffs. That happened this year.
Steve's still mad about that.
That was one.
Steve's still mad about that.
That was one incident. Let me talk. That was one incident where the player sitting next to him is the one that showed him the cell phone.
Hey,
that wasn't Joel Embiid. So Embiid looked at it. Cool.
Let
Get
Steve
over it.
Be upset about that.
That's fine.
Steve's still upset about that.
Guess what? I bet you
that
player. I bet you nobody would have showed LeBron James a cell phone. I bet you nobody would have showed Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen a cell phone. They're showing. They're showing. But the point I'm making is there's a maturity level that even his teammates know he doesn't have.
How old is Joel Embiid?
Where it doesn't matter how old he is.
It does matter.
If he's
how
going to
old
lead
is Joel Embiid?
Answer the question.
Answer the question. How old is Joel Embiid?
25.
If he's going to lead a team, he has to be more mature. That has to grow before anything else will grow. And I'm telling you, it's not just a cell phone thing.
So he's not by far the best player on this team.
It's not one thing. It's not about being the best.
It is about being the best.
That's not what I'm saying. I never said he wasn't the best.
Best and most consistent are two different things, though,
Steve, can I ask a quick question?
You guys are acting like he was horrible in this series.
No,
I'm not going to allow that.
I didn't say that. No, wait a minute, Quan.
Okay.
Nobody once said that.
Because you guys start bringing up Ben Simmons when my whole point wasn't even. I didn't even say anything about Ben Simmons.
He brought up Ben Simmons.
And then when you were defending his point, you brought up Ben Simmons.
Yeah, because he.
So my point is, I didn't even mention Ben Simmons at all.
I know.
Can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead, Dave.
Joel Embiid is 25 years old. That's not the question.
Right.
who's been there to teach him about leadership?
You leave Brett Brown out of this.
Who's been there to teach him about leadership?
Leave Brett Brown out of this.
You drop him in there. The moment he got on the court, he was the team's best player.
Right.
And they had no real like hardcore like, let me teach you something vets.
No, you're right.
True.
Right.
True.
They've never had that.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, JJ Redick can teach you how to conduct yourself like a professional.
But he's only been there 2 years now.
But he's not going to teach you how to be a leader of a team.
No.
Right.
He could teach you how to go through your day like a pro. But who's going to be there to be your leader? It's like Jimmy Butler is a tough and very good player. I don't know if Jimmy Butler is who you want to go to for leadership advice.
No.
Right.
Hardworking.
He can go
building yourself into a better
if you want to
player.
go for work advice, sure. But he's never had a single person to show him
Leadership.
how to lead.
Yeah, leadership.
He's
Actual
barely
leadership.
played basketball. Still, he's 25 years old. He's maybe
And when
been
did he start playing
for
basketball?
Maybe
Like
10
a
years
couple
ago.
years before college.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. I don't even think it's been 10 years.
So
Probably
Like
not.
7.
you look at it, and it's just he's so physically gifted, and he's so good, and everybody loves him because he's so entertaining, and he's done so much just off of pure talent. But he never had the Kevin Garnett type or somebody like that to just teach him like.
But Dave, that's
This
the
is
whole.
how you
That's
get
the
that.
whole
And
league.
Kevin
That's the whole
Garnett
league.
didn't have that.
No, he did.
Who did he have?
Gugliotta. He had
Oh,
people on his
gosh.
team. Gugliotta was trash. Gugliotta was an all-star.
Did I say he was trash? You talking about
You
leadership?
said, oh gosh.
Because he's not teaching him
No,
leadership.
no, wait.
If you're saying him,
Wait,
you're saying he's, if you're talking about Gugliotta,
Juan,
Hold on.
can I finish my point? If you're talking about
you
Gugliotta,
never let
and
me
not,
finish mine.
Okay,
You
go
just
ahead.
jumped in and started
okay,
yours.
go ahead.
Quan,
Go ahead.
the league is different now versus 10 years ago 20 years ago when Kevin Garnett was in it. Can we say that? The league
Not
now.
much.
Stop. Okay.
Not much.
All right. I'll go ahead and I'll further my point. The league is completely different because now the league is run by babies. Babies are teaching babies.
Right.
That is not how the league was set up. The league was set up off of you have a vet. Your vet has been around the league. Your vet was taught by another vet. That was how the league always was. The last 15 years in the league, the majority of the players in the league have either been one and done or have been high school players. They never went to college. Or if they did go to college, they were in college for 30 seconds. So, no,
Right.
It is a totally different league. So, me saying Tom Gugliotta went to 4 years of college.
And Philly has JJ Redick, and you shot the JJ Redick thing down.
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay, I'm somewhat agreeing with both of you. I think that the league does have that particular issue, but at the same time, Kevin Garnett, he had other people like teaching him how to be a pro, but he had to go through a lot of struggles to be a leader. How long did it take for him to have team success?
Yeah.
Right.
A very
8
long
years.
time. Because he had nobody that could teach him
Jordan
that.
brand, too. Remember, Kevin Garnett started in the Jordan brand. So, he did also have Michael Jordan as an example that held his hand when he first came in the league.
Who had Michael Jordan to teach him how to be a leader?
What's
Or who'd Michael Jordan have?
Oh, the devil. Michael
His
Jordan made
trainer?
a deal with the devil.
His trainer.
Michael Jordan had George Gervin. Michael Jordan
That's
had
not
people.
that's not the
Yeah.
one.
But he had people on his team.
So Joel Embiid has nobody equivalent to the people you just mentioned on his
Here's
team.
what I'm saying about Joel Embiid.
So JJ Redick is trash. JJ Redick is better than Tom Gugliotta.
Those
Sorry.
veterans, those leaders, those helpers,
Not an
they
all-star.
may come for Joel Embiid as far as to help him in the future. That's possible. Like you said, he's young. It's possible tomorrow Ben Simmons could hit the gym and get it and develop a three. But what I'm saying is, based on their maturity level, for right now, for Ben Simmons, it's not likely that he's ever going to develop a jump
Yeah, and I'm
shot
not
because of
arguing
his
with Ben
maturity
Simmons.
level.
I'm not arguing the Ben Simmons
Let me
statement.
finish. For Joel Embiid, as of right now, if help doesn't come, and this is the Joel Embiid we have to live with, it's less likely he will develop himself into a leader unless someone comes to help him.
Name one
So,
player
right now-
in the league that jumped into a championship without developing first.
Dwayne Wade.
So are you saying
Did
Joel
he,
Embiid
he didn't
is,
have Shaq on his team?
He
Yeah,
was
Shaq.
year 3 and he won.
so is
Just
Joel
saying.
Embiid developed right now?
No, I was just answering.
No,
Quan's question.
that's what I'm
He
saying.
had Shaquille O'Neal on his team.
Joel
He did.
Embiid
He
is
Was
had
he
not
winning
developed.
without
Wait a minute.
Shaquille O'Neal?
Wait a minute, he had the ghost of Shaquille O'Neal on his team. He carried Shaq to that title. But
Shaq
Shaq was
was
very
still
much
balling.
Shaq was very much
Shaq
a part
was
of it.
necessary.
He was very necessary, but Dwayne Wade was not full Dwayne Wade at that point. Dwayne Wade was beating people by
he had
force of
veteran-
emotion.
He had veteran Gary Payton on that team.
Your self-made
He
guys.
had Gary Payton, who has told
Antoine
me
Walker on that
he had
team.
Gary Payton, who has told me.
Jason Williams on that team.
So you're not.
But I'm just saying,
you're
yourself-
at
you're-
any point. All right,
Your,
go
self-
ahead.
Go ahead.
your
Go
true
ahead.
self-made
Go ahead.
guys are two of the best ever. LeBron and KD. They're self-made. Everyone else needs help. That's all I'm saying.
For the most part.
But then
That's
how
true.
long did it take KD to finally get to that point where he's winning championships? Because look at KD's first few years with him, Russell Westbrook, and Harden were all on the same team for a while
How long did it take them to get to
before
the
they even
finals?
started getting to the playoffs and getting good in the playoffs.
Well, they got to the playoffs in year 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
In year 3. Year 2, they,
Was it
they
year
were
2
still
with-
bad.
was it year
year
2
2 was
with-
when they first were in Oklahoma City. Year 3, they made the playoffs, and they pushed that Lakers team. They pushed a championship team. I mean,
Yeah,
they didn't beat them.
they did. They definitely.
But they played them tough games, and then by the next year, they were in the conference finals.
So this is Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons' second year together pretty much, and they made the playoffs both years.
Correct.
Correct.
And
so,
that's
so they're on the and they lost because of a shot that bounced 4 times on a rim,
correct.
and that's why they're not moving on to the next round.
I agree. I think the one thing that people are most disappointed about is in both seasons, I think you can agree they were a worse coach team when they lost, but they were a more talented team when they lost.
Yeah.
Because that Celtics team last year was no Kyrie, no Hayward.
But then when you look at the next round with that Celtics team, they took LeBron to Game 7.
They did.
So
But this Toronto team, realistically, the only guy showing up in that whole series was Kawhi.
Yeah.
Everybody else was suspect
In and
at
out.
best.
In and out. Yeah.
So, and like I said, I think they need a better coach, and Simmons has to find a drive that I don't know that he's ever going to find. I think Joel Embiid's tears tells me that's a guy that's in the gym in the summer.
Well, he's already serious about it.
Ben Simmons, because some of the things that keep him from being in better shape is just he gets hurt
He get hurt, so he has to stay.
all the time.
He has to manage and monitor himself too. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
Load
let me
management.
just go ahead and do whatever I want to do.
And I get that. Like that, and that's not what I'm saying. Like I'm at no point. This is the thing. At no point am I degrading their
What
play
he's
at
done.
this level. You understand what I'm saying? Like to get in the playoffs. Let's say you out of 100 levels to get to the playoffs, you got to be at least a level 90 team, right?
Or
you got to be
16
up
levels.
there. You
There's
got to be
16
up there,
playoff
right?
levels.
85.
I'm just
80.
saying.
There's
You gotta
16,
be
there's
up there.
16 playoff
At the
levels.
bottom of the East, it's way lower than that.
So wherever you put Joel Embiid, let's say to make it to the finals, you got to be at 98 or 99. Right now, I think the 76ers with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, their level of play is at about a 95.
And
They got to
also
get it.
have
They got to get it to 9. They got to get it to 98. I'm not knocking them.
they also
What
have
I'm
Jimmy
saying
Butler.
is to get
Tobias
from
Harris played well.
get from 95 to 98, you're going to need those two players to get better. Can we all agree with that?
Yeah,
Well, I think-
Here's where we
So,
disagree.
so
and
the problem is, I don't
think they're
agree with
gonna
that.
get better.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. Embiid will definitely get better because he's progressed every year. I'm not sure if Simmons will because he made 0 improvements from last year to this year.
he
0.
made 0 improvements.
Not
we talked
even
about it
one.
before. He made 0
from
improvements
college,
since college.
to the NBA.
He's the same
yeah.
player.
The thing,
Pretty much.
the other thing is with this is you've realized that, and the team realizes, okay, Ben Simmons is the 4th best player on this team. Instead of 2nd, let's get that out of our head. He's the 4th best player. You bring Jimmy Butler back. You bring Tobias Harris back. They played maybe 20-something games all together as a starting unit.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a deadly starting unit. So you bring them back next year. You get them to mesh together for a whole season.
I think they're a
That
good
team comes back. That's still, on paper, that's the 2nd best starting lineup in the league to me, behind Golden State Warriors.
When they're right, I've seen games where they are just flat out frightening.
Yeah.
Where there's nothing you can do about any of them. Where Simmons is keeping the ball moving and Butler's attacking and Tobias Harris is filling in the
gaps.
blanks.
Yeah.
And Joel Embiid is it's just when that's happening, there's nothing you can do. The problem is Ben Simmons is the one that's holding everything up. And yes, he's super young.
Yeah,
and
because
it's
Ben's
just-
only 21 or 20.
No,
right?
he's older than that. Because
Yeah,
remember, he missed
23,
the
I
whole
think.
year.
He missed his first year.
No, but he came out. Well, again, how old was he
he's
coming into
22
college?
right now. So he'll be 23 going into next season.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, he's not a finished product, but I would like to see him being a started product because right now he's playing on pure freak gifts alone.
But we talked about this with him in college. does he love the game, or is it just something like it's easy for him, so he
And
is
he's
where
about
he
to
is?
make money.
Does he want to keep working hard to be the best?
My answer is
Because
no.
talent-wise, he can, but
Yeah,
I mean, you know, those
Anybody can.
LeBron comparisons are not even close.
they were premature, like as they were with Andrew Wiggins,
Oh my,
Hey.
Andrew Wiggins.
Some players
And-
get better, some don't.
and as I feel they will be with Zion Williamson.
But
Whoa, slander on Zion.
I think Zion will be good.
That's
No,
a
I think he's gonna
drive-by.
be good, but LeBron.
I already
I'm not putting him
gave-
up with LeBron.
I already
No, but
gave
I'm
my
not-
Zion
anybody else.
slander.
No, I'm
on.
just saying in terms of that like that's the next lineage of people that are like he's like LeBron.
I think he'll be way
They've
better
been
than
saying
Ben
that.
Simmons.
I don't even know.
I think he'll be a lot better than Ben.
Well,
Simmons.
I already
he-
see
we
Zion
know that he-
cares more.
Yeah, I was about to say we
Yeah.
know that he's trying.
And
Like
he-
I,
and
you know what I
he
mean,
can-
I can say
he will
that.
shoot a 3.
That's what I'm saying. We know that he's trying. So
and we can go back to Dave's point and talk about the coaching. I don't hate Brett Brown like
I don't
Dave does.
either.
I think
You
he's a
hate
decent
Brett
coach.
Brown.
But
Brett Brown went from 20 some wins to 52 to 53.
so
in a
he-
2-year period.
Here's what I saw yesterday. Going to Dave's point, is it was 85-85 for a long time. There was 3 possessions in a row. They came out of a timeout. I blame Jimmy Butler partly on this because he passed the ball to Embiid when he should have shot the ball because there was no time left to pass.
Correct.
But it's up to the coaching staff to let them know, like, this is how much time is left on the shot clock. So
that's on
anyways.
that's on the talent too. The player's supposed to know how much time is on the clock.
It is. But that's also the coach's job too to yell that out from the bench, and they might have. I don't know. But that was 3 possessions in a row that the clock went down to 1
Garbage.
second, where they're taking like a crazy.
Bad shot.
bad
Just
shot.
a bad shot. Not a
And
quality
they got
look.
saved on the 4th one by a weak foul
Yeah, it
because
wasn't
they were
good.
gonna do the same thing again.
Yeah.
But my feeling is you see it a lot, especially in the NBA. There's coaches that take you from the developmental level, and you're meant to be a developmental coach, and you get the team to a certain point. To get them over the hump, you need a championship level coach.
But
That
how
ain't
many-
Brett Brown.
But how many of those are out there?
Not
Dave?
many.
That's what.
So you keep Brett Brown forever? At least I take a shot on
No,
somebody.
no. You don't keep him forever. But I mean, but the simple fact of you know that what you do have the players respect, and they at least run with him. When you bring something new in there, especially with a Jimmy Butler dynamic, Jimmy Butler likes him. So you know what I mean? Like there's some things in there where it's like because it was like okay, so if say you don't miss that shot, oh now we're not gonna fire you like. On a one shot that was the ugliest game winner of all time, like that shot when it bounced up, I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute. And then when it came and hit the other side and sat, I was like, that thing is gonna rattle in.
I already would have had him gone.
But see, this
That's
is this
crazy.
is what I was talking about in the chat the other day. There are some teams just want to play games and get money. There are some teams that want to win a championship. So, do the 76ers want a championship, or they just want to be good? Because if you just want to be good, you don't make
Okay.
changes.
No,
you
no.
stay where you at because you good.
Well-
right now, the 76ers good.
Well, all right.
Why
here,
even draft anybody? We
Here's my question then. Who are you replacing him with? Go ahead. I'll wait.
Well,
That's the thing.
that's
is
the thing.
I don't know.
Are
who the
you going to
candidate is.
try to get better? Emphasis on try.
Or are you gonna mess it up and blow the whole thing up?
That's also possible.
I'm just saying, you know what you have a proven concept right now. And like back to Kwan's point of we also didn't see them play the whole season. They got Tobias at the trade deadline. They
Okay.
got, you know what I mean, like they got all these guys at
And
the
there were
end
still
of the season.
people in and out being
and
hurt.
and people were
Of
hurt.
course.
The whole team was hurt. So it's like, let's actually see what they can do for a full year. I think you give them a 2-year deal. I don't think you sign yourself up for a long period of time. But if you bring back Jimmy Butler for 4 years on a max, you still have another 2-3 years relatively on both Simmons and Embiid before you have to pay them. Tobias Harris, you also can give, you know, a little baby max or whatever he feels he's worth. But you get 2 years of a runway of, okay, we know that this isn't going to work. At least because at least then you say that you've at least given it a full shot. Right now
I'm
Just my
I'm not saying blow it up right now. I'm not, like I said, they're not bad. They're a good team. But if what's the slogan now for the NBA? It's a make or miss league. So
I hate
look,
that.
if we just
I
trying
hate
to
that
be
more than
good,
anything.
if we just trying to be good, then I guess we making it right now,
That's-
baby. And let's just keep trying to be. Let's
But
get
I
gooder.
don't think that's Philly's
know what I'm saying?
mentality.
Wait. Can
So-
we kill that whole concept because that's in any sport. I mean, that's
of course,
baseball.
yeah.
It's a hit or miss. Like either I'm hitting the ball or
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm striking
Hey,
you out or
either,
I'm not.
either Kawhi made it or he missed it, and you know what I'm saying? He made
Like,
it. You know.
Of course, it's a
I
make
don't-
or miss. It's a make or miss game.
I mean,
That's
even,
basketball.
So here's the thing with Kawhi Leonard most likely being out of Toronto, no matter what they do, I think
Not with the ring.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if they win
I
a
don't
ring.
know.
Okay, well, that's a scenario that a lot of people think that he might not even be there.
Sure.
So Philly, you lose Toronto, you still got Milwaukee there. Philly is still, for the next 5, 6, 7 years, they're the top team in the East, top 2, 3 teams in the Eastern Conference.
Easy.
With this team.
So
that's why you just keep letting them develop. You don't have to blow it up. Maybe a new coach, maybe not. I don't think that is going to make a huge difference either way, depending on the coach they bring in. If a coach can come in and help Ben Simmons and be like, look, you're not playing until you start developing a shot.
Well, because I'll say this. During the last series, they ran the same set 4 straight times. I saw it. They went to the well 4 straight times. And each time, the look had a different wrinkle. And it still got a bucket, or it still got a quality look, but it kept going through Embiid. Embiid was at the high post. He was about a step in front of the 3, and they ran a side action with him and JJ Redick, and then the other it was either Jimmy Butler or Ben Simmons was diving to the basket. And I forget who they played in the last round, but they couldn't stop it. Like each time, like it was like, okay,
well, that was Orlando.
Well, fair enough. Was it Orlando? They played Orlando.
They played Orlando.
Well, the play didn't even need to be changed. Like it was like, oh, we gonna run that till y'all actually stop it.
That's more on Orlando's personnel, because once they saw Toronto's personnel, you saw what their packages did.
I didn't see that play again. I didn't see that play again.
How would you know if you did? Because Toronto snuffed out everything, especially towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Toronto has, a number of plus defenders.
No, well, they have 2 defensive players of the year on their team.
They have 2 defensive players of the year, plus Danny Green, plus Pascal Siakam.
Plus Siakam is very good.
We're going to get back to the NBA playoffs, but we do have a special guest in the building today. If you could turn Steve's camera towards Alan. I got my man Alan Snell in the building from LVSportsBiz.com. And he's here, man. We were talking the other day, and just what you do and what you're doing with the website and with your sports business knowledge, going behind the scenes with the stadium here with the the Las Vegas Raiders stadium and all of that. Man, I wanted to get you on and talk about that a little bit, and I know some of the guys have questions too on just the Las Vegas sports business. So welcome Alan Snell to the show.
Hey, I hate to interrupt like all the passionate
you're
Philly
good,
stuff.
man.
Please, it's for the best. We'll just keep
reminded me
going.
of the Knicks in Boston back in the 70s, Dollar bill against John Havlicek.
R.I.P.
So how you doing? How you doing, Alan?
Yeah, it's great to be here. This is a really dynamic time period right now in Las Vegas history. It's the renaissance of major league team sports. Las Vegas has always been a terrific major league sports team in the sense of UFC and PGA and the NASCAR guys. But now, the Golden Knights have, pretty much slammed the door down, and the Raiders Stadium is coming to play. And this is, it's interesting that you get modern, very high-powered sports venues driving the truck here, because, the Golden Knights are not here without T-Mobile Arena. That was a privately financed arena.
Thank God.
The NHL fell in love with that arena, and they made it happen, along with the Malou family working behind the scenes and then combining forces with Bill Foley. And then, the Raider Stadium was kind of an interesting package. You had Sheldon Adelson,
Bank of America.
Providing the
saved it.
It's been a crazy kind of soap opera, but still, the bottom line is this is going to be a game changer facility.
And with the Raiders, with Adelson dropping out, how close were they to that deal? Like
dying.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was going to.
So somebody was going to step up.
Yeah, like you said, Bank of America. The Raiders had to go to Bank of America. Yeah. That's why they're so revenue conscious about the personal seat licenses. That's why.
Oh my Lord!
Murdering people with those.
That's exactly why.
$100,000, 2 seats.
Yeah, They're going to use they need that revenue to start paying off the Bank of America loan. So, but the interesting thing, there's a lot of it's a very evolving dynamic period. The NCAA said that they're not going to automatically not have championships in Las Vegas anymore. They've removed that stumbling block. So with the Raiders Stadium opening, I could foresee a college football national championship game, a Final Four in basketball.
Oh.
You'll get a Super Bowl eventually.
Super
Bowl's a done deal.
That's for sure.
Super
the
Bowl's
one thing
to
consider, and this is why Las Vegas to me is so fascinating, is that on Super Bowl weekend, as you know, this place is just overrun with
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
Already.
Yeah.
Already.
Exactly. So you have to be very careful at looking at the economic net impacts of these big events on Las Vegas because, you go to, let's say, a Detroit or even a Tampa. I was in Tampa or
Yeah.
South Florida. I mean, those places are kind of busy. Well, not Denver, not Detroit, but South Florida would be. But still, you have to be careful that you're just not bringing in new people who are displacing people here who are spending money already
Who are
anyway.
already coming?
Gotcha.
Oh, that's
You
a
know,
good thought.
occupancy rates are already
yeah.
sky high. They're
Yeah.
up 95%. Maybe you
Right.
get,
Thought.
another 2%. You squeeze, you shoehorn them into the hotels,
Right.
unless you can, as you know, you can raise the room rates too.
Well,
But
Which
to
they
your,
do a
to
lot.
Your, to your
Right.
point, I know by the time the Raiders get here, we're also going to have the Drew opening. There's the new hotel that they're talking about building over by Mandalay Bay. And then now I guess they basically just greenlit. I forget what it used to be, but it's going to be a new project right over by the convention center as well. So we're going to be getting about another 7,000 to 10,000 rooms, just in a few projects that are going to help overall growth.
If they complete and they open, because
Well-
I'm the chief skeptic of places like Resort World.
Resort,
If
look,
that opens, I will always be shocked.
I forgot to mention Resort World. Yeah, resorts of the world. I think it is.
Resort World.
It's a resort world.
another
Yeah.
facility that's getting a lot of publicity now that the Golden Knights are out is the new baseball park. That place has sold out 18 out of 21 dates. I think,
Crazy.
which has
Oh,
been
that's
Wow.
great. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
they've been
Yeah.
selling
Yeah,
out.
they sell out 10,000 strong a game.
That's
and,
good.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's a whole different dynamic. You have
Yeah.
they used to be in Cashman.
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by the team is owned by Howard Hughes Corporation.
Yep.
They own Summerlin and downtown Summerlin.
Right.
So that baseball park was an amazing amenity. And don't forget, they're getting $80 million in a naming rights deal from the Las Vegas
Which,
Convention and
To
Visit
me
Authority.
was, I have to be honest. To me, that was gross because
No one even knew
realistically,
about it.
because really,
Dave knows.
Dave knew. I didn't hear that one.
that was public money. It's like you get naming rights for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority for a park that's over in Summerlin that only
Yeah, like-
locals are going
like-
to.
Right,
No,
right.
that-
So
yeah.
I've actually written several columns on that.
Oh,
and,
okay.
That one
you know,
was
All right.
that was
Yeah,
such
I mean-
sneak public funding that it was
Now,
like
to add salt to the wound of that one, the LVCVA board actually approved the deal on the date of October 10th, 2017, which, if you remember, was the opening date of the Golden Knights. It was
Right.
the first
Oh,
Golden
wow.
Knights. So
Okay.
all the news crews were over at T-Mobile Arena.
yeah, they weren't paying attention.
So they were
were not-
busy.
Exactly.
Push that paper.
But at the same token, that baseball park, I don't know if you guys have been up there, it's a gem. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an impressive facility, and it's a great amenity for Howard Hughes to have up there. And
Plus, it's in the right area of town.
it's
You
it's
have money to be being spent
there's
up
a-
there.
Leave
there's lot of-
Cashman alone.
yeah.
No, I'm not
well-
disrespecting Cashman, but I'm saying money people are going
Are
to the
over
park
there,
because
yeah.
it's right
Yeah.
there.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the cool thing about the entire sports business landscape in Las Vegas is that even without these venue-driven teams, you have the soccer team that actually is
The Light-
is doing pretty well. They're drawing about 7,000 to 8,000
doing good
fans
there,
a
yeah.
game, which is top 5 in the United Soccer League. They're still in Cashman,
Yep.
and I mean, I would recommend. Well, they want to. The end game is to get the Lights to Major League Soccer one day.
That's
They're
right.
still years behind, and a key again comes back to the venue. They're
So
go-
can you convert the lights all the way, or do you create a new team, or do they?
No,
do
you would keep the Lights.
No, you would
in
keep
so
the-
they
Major League
upgrade
Soccer.
to
Yeah,
Major
and
League.
they would
That's
they would
dope.
basically
But
just
the
be
thing
brought in.
one is,
Okay.
before you do that, you're gonna have to upgrade Cashman.
Yeah,
To
Yeah,
and they're
a lot.
doing some. They're doing some changes there,
they
right?
Said, they said they're upgrading. And I know
Well,
that
I
they
mean, I'm
said,
talking about
like
modernizing
No,
it
no.
and
Burn
creating
it.
some like
He
hot
ain't
restart.
He ain't talking about remodeling. You know what I'm saying? He talking
I don't want a refurb. I want a whole new thing. I need a
I
new
mean,
car.
they need to wrap the stands around.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they
around
do.
the
Yes, they
field.
do.
They need
Well,
to
if they
include-
became a Major League Soccer team, would they even play there anymore?
they might. That's what
Really?
It's the right size.
That's what Brett Lashbrook wants. He
Okay.
wants to convert Cashman into the so-called Fenway or Wrigley Field of Major League Soccer.
Okay.
That's his
Nice.
end
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
And I was today. I was over down at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Don't forget, Mandalay Event Center got a $10 million renovation last year for
Yeah.
the WNBA
Yeah.
team.
Yep.
And it's a nice facility.
spot,
and
yeah.
today was media day for the Aces, and the WNBA team also kind of fulfills.
We weren't there,
kind of-
Josh.
I look up
we were
like
supposed to be.
Damn.
But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, this is a really, if you want to be a sports fan, you got the super buffet now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And
Now, do you see anything that can cause this to be a failure with too many teams coming in too soon?
right. So you guys are NBA buffs. I can tell you're into it. I'm not
definitely.
going to. I mean, this is my own personal analysis. People might agree. I don't think we're going to have an NBA team here for 5 years.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
about what I
That
said.
was my question.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
I was gonna ask him
Because I
what he
really
thought.
think
They're going to sit it out.
I think Silver wants to see how this market performs with the Raiders in town for at least a couple years. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. MGM is obviously buttering up the NBA
Ready.
big
Definitely.
time.
I mean, they're
Right.
sponsoring.
the NBA Summer League.
yeah.
They're the title sponsor for the NBA Summer League. And they also have a huge gambling relationship and partnership.
Yeah.
It's more of a really marketing than anything else. But
Yeah.
still, they're very close. And look, they took they bought the San Antonio franchise
Yeah.
of the WNBA,
Yeah.
moved him here. So the NBA, I think, will come one day. I kind of
They
laugh.
will.
I have a nephew in Charlotte, North Carolina. And my joke with my nephew is that Michael Jordan, who loves gambling, is eventually,
the
he's
Hornets.
eventually going to move out.
Oh,
I just
no.
kind of goof
Loves
around
gambling,
with
hates tipping.
Oh,
No, I actually, to your point, Adam Silver's actually talked about keeping the balance of the league, and I think even more so than the Raiders, he's actually keeping an eye on Seattle.
Yeah,
because
it's interesting because Seattle and Las Vegas are kind of
I
joined
think
at the hip. I think.
I think both of them. I
In
think
much way the hockey is too.
exactly. I think both of them are actually going to come on together, and then one of the West teams is actually going to move back to the East. And I
do you think it would be expansion?
Yeah, I think they're going to expand by two. I think
Wow.
it's going to be Seattle and us,
Okay.
and then
Well,
they're going to
Seattle
move. They're
is-
going to move Memphis
Seattle,
back to the East
they're investing a lot in their
in the
arena
Key
for-
Arena.
yeah.
for
Exactly.
for hockey.
Exactly.
So you think they'd make it for basketball as well?
Yeah.
And
Oh, no question.
And-
Well, they've put I
They
think
get a
what is it like
basketball team
3 or
first.
400 million into.
listen, the
into-
Supersonics had a proud. I mean, you guys know it. They had a
Well,
proud
he's
history.
he's a Sonic.
Well, there you
fan.
go.
He's a Sonic.
I
fan.
think we were all upset when they left too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that was one of
Right.
those classic teams you didn't want to see
well,
Right.
lose their franchise.
and especially not with any kind of anything in place to bring a team back. Like at least when the Browns left, it was like wink, wink. We're gonna give you a franchise in like. A
But
little
they
bit,
also,
just give it a
like-
second.
I mean, that was a devoted fan base.
Yeah.
It's not like you were leaving Memphis where people are like,
Oh,
we'll just go eat some barbecue. We'll be all right.
and in 2 years, some of the fans are like, "Oh, we don't have a team anymore."
we still got BB King.
People forget
Right.
Dennis Johnson before he was with the Celtics.
Yeah,
That's right.
He
Was-
led Supersonics to a championship.
Yeah.
didn't
Well,
he?
I
to
did not
to
forget.
two championships. Not
No.
they
They
didn't
won the
win,
finals, in
but
one
they
year.
won. They
lost to
won. Was it
Washington.
3
Won one and
times?
lost one.
Yeah,
To the old Bullets. I
I'm a
think.
Bullets
Yeah.
fan.
There you
Well,
go.
what
Well,
is it?
now
Yeah.
you are.
Bulletsforever.com. Bulletsforever.org.
.com.
He used to be a Bulls fan, and then he became Bullets.
He added more letters.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, you guys. I mean, I think one of the issues I do cover also is, to me, the consumers are the fans. I mean, they're buying the content. What's your take on just ticket sales and the cost of tickets? To get
Ooh,
into games
I will
around here?
jump on that first for working right around the corner there.
Oh,
I
you
love
mean-
sports, and
I was gonna ask him
my
what he
my
meant.
my problematic thing is it's good now because the Knights have been successful. When we finally see adversity, because you already have for at least regular season games, there are, depending on the fan base, a great deal of visiting fans already because you're going to come to Las Vegas to see your team.
Right, and
That's
the
right.
Vegas is. I mean, I predict literally 40% of the Raiders Stadium folks will be tourists or out of town.
Easy.
Definitely.
And what's interesting, there's not much parking at that stadium.
Not
There's
much.
not.
That was as friendly as you could be. You have outside interest. I already know. He's like, there's not much. Not much.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're anticipating literally 20 to 25,000 fans walking over
Yep.
Hacienda.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You
No,
know,
that's a smart move.
Boulevard,
That's what I'll be doing.
over the interstate.
And they're gonna have shuttles and all that.
I have
And
a
then-
theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Mhm.
You know, there's all those warehouses right around there.
Oh yeah, you already said
And
that.
I've said this before, but I really believe as it gets closer, you're gonna have the people that the ownership groups of those warehouse buildings be like, so, do you really want to shuttle people over from Blue Diamond, or maybe you pay us this dollar amount and you could just knock all this down?
Give me 30
And build
million.
a garage.
I mean, they
$30
might. I
million
think
dollars.
their ace in the hole, so to speak, is the Belly High Golf Course.
Yeah.
Because right now that golf course property, which is federal property, is
Oh, I didn't know it was
entangled in a
federal.
federal lawsuit between the
I didn't know
feds
that either.
and Clark
Whoa.
County
Okay.
because
Okay.
the Justice Department argued in a lawsuit that Clark County, which received the management rights to the property from the feds, were not collecting enough revenue from the golf course. So the Justice Department, the feds sued Clark County. It's entangled in a lawsuit, but that location is unbelievable too.
Well-
And it's a
well,
big open chunk.
Well,
Yeah, it'd be a
remember
great
too, they had
spot.
actually talked about building the stadium there
Yeah.
first. That was one of the sites that they were like, they're just gonna. I was like, they just gonna tear down the golf course?
Yeah.
Well,
Yup.
Whatever
Sure
it takes,
are.
bro. Whatever it
that'll,
takes.
be, that'll be just
Yeah.
for parking. I think that's the ace in the hole for because I was at a meeting a couple days ago where all the presidents and the COOs of the sport teams got together to talk about the impact of sports on property development, this and that, and that issue actually came up. The park. What they're going to do about the parking issue, and for the record, they have this, as you know, this satellite.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Parking lot, which they just did it. They threw it out there just to kind of fill the gap.
Yeah.
But I think the end game is to get a hold. Valley High is
That's
I mean,
prime choice.
yeah, and also
Yeah.
Mark Bedane, the president of the Raiders, did tell everyone at the meeting that I can't tell you what properties they are, but we've acquired or we're going to close
Oh,
on
okay,
two
okay.
properties
Okay.
Okay.
to provide 13,000 more spaces.
Oh,
Okay.
So
That's pretty good.
to me,
They have to.
that says Valley High.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean-
That makes sense.
I mean, it's true. I mean, the property values around the stadium. It's an
Oh, they've-
industrialized kind of
they've-
area. I mean,
They've skyrocketed.
yeah. I mean, they bought the property where the stadium is for about $1.2 million per acre, and as soon as they bought it, the values doubled literally overnight. Went from it's in the $2 to $3 million per acre
Yeah.
cost right now in that neighborhood.
Now, I had somebody online ask a question because I took a picture yesterday. I drove by the Raider Stadium.
Right.
I was going 75 on the freeway. Just put my phone out, got a really good shot.
You and like 10,000 other people.
Exactly. I got a good shot though, man. I've been lucky with some good shots going really fast. But is that stadium going to be done in time for the 2020
Absolutely.
season?
I think
It'll be
so.
done.
I think so.
July 31st, 2020.
they're
Okay.
around the clock.
Yeah.
We should have
So it's gonna be a
podcast on
24-hour
a pickup truck up and down
We
right in front of
should.
the highway.
We should do that.
You know what's funny is I was talking to somebody from the LA area, and he's like, "Man, you guys are this stadium started way later than the LA stadium, and it's like it's going up so
Right.
fast." I'm like,
There's a single.
"You've never seen Las Vegas get built
Yeah.
before."
There's
Yeah.
a single-mindedness to this project
Yeah.
where you have a focus. It's interesting because as a journalist, I think it's fascinating to see all the public subsidy going into the stadium, but it does raise the issue because Nevada's kind of a low-tax state.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm,
kind of like
mhm.
Florida in that regard, and you do have to stack up the $750 million that Southern Nevada is giving to the Raiders versus the other public needs. I mean, obviously, schools is always the stereotypical.
Yes.
How come schools are so underfunded? Also, let's face it, our health services aren't the best.
Yeah.
In Southern
Correct.
Nevada either. So
Mhm.
it's a balancing act, and the community has to decide what they want their priorities to be.
Yeah.
Well, clearly they decided they
I was about
decided
to
schools
say-
didn't matter.
Someone
They
decided
wanted an
for
NFL
them.
team.
But
I could teach them how to
talked
read
you
at
about,
home.
I talked to you about that the other day. That money, I don't think that money would have went anywhere else anyways. They wouldn't have done the funding for
Not
it to go
sexy
anywhere.
enough.
The money, but
Yeah.
the money can be raised for other
Yeah.
things, for police. I mean, as you remember,
Because some of that marijuana money was supposed to go to schools
Right.
too. and they're
Supposed to,
still
yeah.
waiting and waiting and waiting.
Well,
for that.
towns have to communities have to decide. In 2015, if you recall, the city of Las Vegas was flirting with the idea of actually talking about MLS stadiums. They were partnering with a company called Cordish Companies and the Finley Group. Remember the Finleys? They
Yeah.
were part of that
Oh.
package deal to build a $250 million soccer stadium at Symphony Park. And the money the public money that the city was going to use was going to come from their share of the room tax. They
Okay.
get about
Oh,
$6.5
okay.
million dollars a year in room tax revenue. They pour that money into building and renovating their park system. And that's a great example. Do you want a community of great parks? Do you want to rebuild your parks? Or the package deal on the soccer stadium was that the proposal was to take half of that money, $3 million a year, and use that to subsidize
Yeah.
the public's portion of the stadium to go along with the private partnership. That's what politicians do. I mean, you have
Yeah.
to decide, what's important for your community, what's needed. Las Vegas, we kind of hit on this topic. To me, is fascinating because a lot of the fans at the Golden Knight games, a lot of times, and we rely on tourism to realize our sports events here.
Yeah.
I mean, our sports events are almost like tourist events.
Yeah.
Very
And,
much.
and that's why
Yeah,
a lot
they
of the locals complained about the arena and the stadium being on the strip, which, when the team's bad and you're out in Summerlin, the locals don't go anymore and you lose the team.
Well,
With it being on the strip,
right.
now it's a show on the strip, right? And so now, no matter if you're good or bad, the Raiders are going to fill up because Denver's going to come out here every
I've
week.
covered
Right.
this business of sports beat in South Florida, Tampa Bay.
How long you been in Vegas?
7 years.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, there's a cautionary tale. I was in South Florida when the Florida Marlins were born. Everyone goes
Oh.
nuts.
Yeah.
Place gets filled, 40,000 fans strong. Guess what? Worst attendance in the majors, along with Tampa
Yeah.
Bay.
And they have a
Tampa-
gorgeous stadium too.
The Marlins have a
Marlin
new
Park
stadium.
is gorgeous.
That's a great stadium.
I
Tampa Bay,
was 3 rows behind home plate. $25.
right. Well, the mayor got
Swear to
actually,
you.
I think he got recalled on that one.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did, because
Yeah.
that was some more
that was-
garbage.
There
That was
was
part of
some.
a-
There
that
was some.
part
Under,
of-
yeah, there
that
was some.
part of a sleazy little
yeah,
stuff going on.
Jeffrey Lurie is a criminal.
But then you have Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay came 5 years later in 1998,
Ooh,
and they opened up in this. I think it's the worst baseball park in the country.
by far,
Clearly.
You
not
know,
even a question.
After the Kingdom was imploded, I was there for that too. Once the Kingdom was imploded,
They had. They took the
I
crown.
don't know,
Exactly.
You
They
didn't
took the mantle.
You didn't hit rafters in the Kingdom.
No, you didn't. And look, and then look. The worst
Tropicana
part is
Field, you
like.
did.
So Steve, I don't know if you know. So basically, different rings.
Mhm.
If it hits certain areas of the roof,
Yeah.
is a home run or a double.
yeah, the umpire, yeah,
Swear to God. Like, oh no, hit the first ring. That's a double. Hit the second. It's like playing in your gym. Like when you're in high school and middle
Yeah,
school. Remember
yeah,
that? It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's a double. I hit it
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
no, I hit.
but keep in
That's
mind they
crazy.
actually filled that stadium as crappy as it was, like the first year, 1998,
for a while.
1999. But a couple of years later, bang, and that's a cautionary
Yeah.
tale for the Golden Knights, which right now they're ruling Las Vegas.
Mhm.
They are the kings
Yeah.
of Las
Yeah.
Vegas. And it'll be interesting to see, number one, when the Raiders come to town,
Yeah.
and number two, if they no longer are a playoff contender. I
Exactly.
mean those.
Yeah.
I mean they're filling that arena to 105% of capacity.
That's right.
It's the second highest in
Yeah.
the National Hockey League. I mean they
And
sell
they're not going
out-
to be contenders every single year.
well.
Who are they behind?
The number one is Chicago, actually, around 109.
Shut up! I was actually
Yeah.
gonna say the
The
Canadians.
Blackhawks.
I figured it was gonna
Nice.
be the Canadians.
Yeah, they have a. I haven't been to that Chicago arena, but I heard it's like
United
the
Center?
biggest one. I heard it's like
Yeah,
20,
United Center is
25,000
huge. United Center
And-
is 20.
And you know what's
25,000.
crazy too is when you look at the population of Chicago and the surrounding areas, that metropolitan area, the population they have is way bigger than what we have.
Right.
here.
Oh,
Well,
you know what I
like
mean?
one of the
Like,
biggest
so-
cities
By
in the
leaps and
country.
bounds.
Well,
Right,
the
you
interesting
know what I
thing
mean?
about the Golden Knights games I found was that I mean, yeah, it was sports, but to me, it was like the social place to be.
Yeah.
Event.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was. I mean, people would go into those lounges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tide.
The Bud Light Lounge, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now to ask you, I have one question to ask you because I've talked to people about this before. How much do you think the Raiders coming turns the city into a wraparound city? Because right now our biggest, our peak seasons are really now between May and then September, just because of the summer season. And I know Steve, well, everybody really has worked on the strip here, and so basically like our off season and the sad time of year is always usually around September, October through.
Well, that's why the National Finals Rodeo was brought in early December.
Mm.
That window between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Sure.
Mhm.
In fact, it's still a slow period.
Yeah.
In fact, the LBCVA, they actually do quite a bit of research, and they looked at the occupancy rates. They rank them the weeks 1 to 52, and that period where the NFR is still pretty low there. It's
Yeah, it's
even-
terrible. isn't
Yeah, I
it?
think it's around
Yeah.
the 45th, 46th.
Oh,
Worst,
like worst weeks.
week.
Yeah.
Still,
And-
even with the NFR, right now,
And if that's not there, it's a ghost town.
yeah, the
Yeah,
LBCVA
Because
is
all you see
actually
is Cowboys.
they're
walking
coughing
around.
up $10 million in prize money, to those Cowboys, plus
Wow.
a few extra millions dollars. But I have a photo of a check where they have like the big goofy,
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
cardboard check with, and you got the LVCVA guys giving a $14 million check to the Cowboys. I
Ugh,
mean, it's
Man.
That's how Steve demands his paychecks.
Like
I
Happy
want all my
Gilmore.
checks.
I want one of them big ones.
I want one of
It's
them
like, no,
big
your
checks.
check get mailed out next week.
All right, one of the last questions I've had. The success of the Aviators. They're now affiliates with the Oakland A's. This
Right.
is their first year being affiliated with the Oakland A's. We've heard rumors about the Rio maybe getting blown
Right,
up and a
right.
baseball stadium getting built right there, once again on the Strip, and maybe a baseball team being brought in, maybe the A's. Are those any legs to those rumors?
Well, I haven't written about it, and that tells you. I've heard the same rumors you guys have heard it, and I'm not into reporting like, hey, I hear this, I hear that.
Mm.
I mean, I want some feasibility, and I want some valid
Definitely.
news juice behind it versus just I heard about it, I'm going to run with it.
Yeah.
I heard the same rumors you guys about the Rio being demolished.
Yeah.
Although my running joke, no one really gets and they take it seriously, is that I think with the Oakland Athletics like drawing 10,000 fans a game, have them like share the stadium with the Aviators. You can have 2 for 1.
I mean, hey,
They're drawing 10,000 people anyway, and we stole the Raiders. Might as well take the whole
The
Oakland.
Coliseum is a dump.
Look. If we took both the A's and the Raiders, like I'd start. Everyone needs to
Well,
invest
and
in
the-
ADT.
and
Like,
the, War-
legit.
and,
E40 would be
and the
happy.
Warriors are gone too. I mean, so
I was just
Oakland
saying,
has-
why
Exactly,
not just
they're
go
going
for
to San
the Warriors,
Francisco.
man?
yeah.
Poor
No,
Oakland, man.
They're good.
Hey, the Coliseum is a terrible dump.
No, well, the basketball arena is trash too.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Oh.
all the same.
It's a
all
complex.
the
They're
same
both
complex.
Coliseums, I guess. Both are called the Coliseum, but yeah. Oof. Have you been to that one?
Yes.
Okay.
I lived up there.
Fair, that's right. You did.
But yeah,
Steve?
you used to get
It's really
real
bad.
cheap stuff
I
at
believe
A's games. I'm sure you still do.
All right, Alan, before we let you go, man, let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find the website to read up about
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Las Vegas
Yeah,
sports
I've
business.
had a great time talking with you guys. I mean, once you get the ball rolling, I mean, it kind of spills out into every area. LVSportsBiz.com is celebrating our second year anniversary in June.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
thanks. I
Congrats.
mean, that's like in web years, that's like being like an old timer, you know?
Yeah, for real.
It's like
doing this
dog years.
forever, man.
But it's LVSportsBiz.com. And I also came out with a book that talked about the creation of LV Sports Biz. I actually left the Review Journal in 2016, moved to Florida. I'm a big cyclist, too. I got hit by a car in Florida, almost got killed, and I said, enough is enough. I actually came back to Las Vegas in June of 2017 to launch LVSportsBiz.com, wrote a book about it, and it talks all about the whole philosophy of creating LVSportsBiz.com
Awesome,
because it's a huge convergence news area. You got the sports,
Yeah.
business, stadium building, fan issues, politics.
Perfect time for
Yeah,
it, too.
exactly. So,
How
and
long
anyway,
did you work for the Review Journal?
yeah, I came here in 2012 to cover stadiums
Okay.
and the business of sports for the RJ. Left in 2016 after Sheldon Adelson bought it. And
That's
the
smart.
Paper, yeah, the
Lot-
paper changed overnight.
people
Well, yeah, you
jump.
actually got to report things back in the day.
Yeah, it was. That's been pretty much documented.
Yeah.
That perspective.
Oh.
Where can we, what's the name of the book and where can we find it?
The book is called Long Road Back to Las Vegas. In fact, you have
Oh.
the site up.
Yeah, I got it.
And if you look at the, I have an ad right there.
Right here.
Yeah,
Purchase now. Okay.
yeah, you can purchase it right. Or I
So
like.
buy right now, Steve.
I love to meet people. I actually bring the books to all the events I cover,
Awesome.
and I tell people, hey, I like to share the story because the guy who hit me was a distracted motorist who never got a ticket.
Whoa.
And there was no settlement. And I said, you know what?
Holy
I'm
smokes.
going back to Las Vegas. I got to put this behind me. And the
Yeah.
book really is about the whole recovery period.
Sure.
Okay.
You don't have to be a bicyclist or even a sports fan to appreciate the book. The book really is about moving forward,
recovery, yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
coming back, and it's a pretty. And I weave in all the sports stuff going on in my first
Yeah.
year. When I came back in June of 2017,
Everything.
that's when the Golden Knights
yeah,
were being picked.
everything.
I
was
literally
going.
came like a couple weeks before they unveiled the jersey.
Oh,
And the next day, after they unveiled the jersey at Wynn over at T-Mobile Arena, they were announcing the players. You know,
Okay.
so I
All
just
right.
kind of rode that wave along with everyone else.
that's
But I talk
terrific.
about how covering it really formed an emotional base for me to kind of move on after the crash.
Wow.
Okay.
So awesome. Make sure you get the book. You can get that on the website.
You can just buy it through the website or just contact me. My email is asnel@lvsportsbiz.com. And I meet a lot of people at games, and I like to just talk with them. I like to, to me, the personal touch. I mean, it's funny because we're totally in the opposite direction. Everything is purchased like through, online and
Yeah.
with a few touches of your forefinger now, but
Still like that human element of
exactly. I
talking
like
to
the
real
connection.
people. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the human connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Make sure you guys check out lvsportsbiz.com. Alan, we appreciate having you
Yeah,
on, man.
I enjoyed
and
meeting all you guys.
yeah, and
We
we'll
got a lot going on.
definitely
Listen, I got
connect a lot
one
more.
day
man.
if you let me. I want to talk about old 1970 New York Knicks. If that's bring
do
me in
it.
for the
I'm here
for the
for it.
for the 70-73 championship.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that'll
like,
Well, I knew that's the 2 years you were going to talk about.
yeah. I mean, the Knicks have sucked ever since. They did
Yeah.
lose to San Antonio.
I mean, they might get the first pick. We got the draft lottery
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
So we gotta get
tomorrow,
Zion.
yeah.
So we'll be talking about that soon. Do you
Come on,
do you
Wizards.
cover most of the local teams like the Aces? And
I go to all,
Knights?
but again, I'm looking for interesting business angles,
Yeah.
sales marketing angles.
Sure.
But I'm a fan like anyone else, so I
Yeah.
get my 2 cents in.
Okay.
I mean, you guys
Right
get
on.
your quarters, and I'm not. I can't like.
I don't know if they spend that high.
All right, Alan, man, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
we
same
appreciate
here.
the time, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alan.
Yeah.
So that's Alan Snell, lvsportsbiz.com. Make sure you check out that website and get the book. Very interesting, so make sure you get that. We appreciate it. And we are going to jump back into the NBA. If you could get Steve back on camera. I know he was missing himself looking at the video. He's like, man, where am I?
Mom, can you see me?
That's how my wife knows I'm here.
Yeah, Stina was a little worried.
That's the only reason I need to be on camera, so she knows
Got to
that
make sure.
I'm still there. I'm where I'm at.
Appreciate it, bro. Man. All right, getting back into the National Basketball Association. By the way, this game back here, if you could see it over Josh's shoulder, amazing game right here. I'm glad.
Really.
I'm glad that Dave is just staring right into it.
Listen. Do you want to talk about how far technology has come? Look at this picture.
It's HD, bro.
Bruh.
Like, we legitimately were like,
I
yeah,
wish
that's
I could
Jordan.
see it a lot less.
That's
Look, man.
crazy.
We used to watch it in a box.
That's the best we had back
Wasn't
in
a
the day.
screen, it was a box.
That's the best
That's
we had.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Granted, it did look better on the TV live. It wasn't blurry, but,
Oh, no, everything about this game looked terrible then and looks terrible now to me.
I mean, that shot wasn't too bad.
This was recorded on Scotch tape.
All right, so this is the last time we got the 2000 Game 7 NBA Western Conference Finals, Lakers versus Blazers. The last time the Blazers were in the Western Conference Finals. I think this Blazers team sweeps this year's Blazers team.
Oh,
The 2000 Blazers team sweeps them.
I thought he was gonna say something that was
I'm
just
not
like,
sweeping the Warriors.
get up and get out.
I'm not sweeping the Warriors.
Good night, Quan.
Zip it up and zip it out.
They might not sweep them for a whole quarter. But listen, man, great game yesterday. And I got to give it up to CJ McCollum, who his name would have been everywhere on TV and in the media if it wasn't for Kawhi taking over and hitting that shot. Because CJ
That's true.
McCollum yesterday
He
made
had
a name
game.
for himself in this league. For those people that didn't already know he was good, for the average watching the playoff NBA fan, you now know who CJ McCollum is. With Dame Lillard almost disappearing as far as offensively, he had I think 10 rebounds, 8
No, they
assists.
locked him up. They locked him up.
Yeah.
They did what they had to do on Dame. McCollum was not going to let them lose that game.
He
And
did everything
He wasn't
had
going to
to
let
do.
Jennifer down.
Hey.
He wasn't letting Jennifer down.
Denver was up 17, and it was a great game, but we just got a greater game right after that. So this game kind of got pushed to the side. But, I mean, 2 Game 7s, I can't even believe Dave went into work. 2
Yeah,
Game 7s.
it's this thing called responsibility and keeping your job.
Called children.
Priorities, you know,
Happens.
mouth
Game
feed.
7s. There's always a
Health
way.
insurance.
Yeah, you know.
It's always
you know.
2 Game 7s, Dave.
Yeah.
And there should have been 3, but Cream's team couldn't handle it.
Whoa.
Thankfully.
Sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to talk about Cream in front of you.
Keep Kareem's name out your mouth.
But, man.
It's my boo.
2 Game 7. Wow. I thought that was only for the chat room. 2 Game 7s. Portland won in Denver with their faded floor that looks like there were stickers on there that someone peeled off and didn't get all the glue off. I don't understand that part of their floor. But what do you guys think about that game, and what do you think about just Denver's future and the outcome in the Western Conference Finals? Now, this is going to be a great backcourt matchup. I'm not sure if we'll get anything else out of this series, but we will get a great backcourt matchup with the Warriors and Portland. But what do you guys think about this game overall, the Game 7, and where Portland could go?
Where Portland could go, Portland's going to go to a 4 to 5 game series. The Warriors are going to put it on him.
Even without Kevin Durant,
Even
probably
without
2
Kevin
games.
Durant. Without Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're asking about Denver's future. Denver's future is incredibly bright.
That's right.
Just because, I mean, you got a young team. You have a lot of guys who are still developing. Jokic is young, but he's already one of the best players in the league.
Top 10 for sure.
And you are building everything that they'd have to do now is like Milwaukee did with Giannis. It's like, this is the guy. We build everything out around him.
Yeah.
You surround him with players that fit him. They surrounded Giannis with shooters and guys that fit him. So everything now, you have a guy that's good enough going forward. Jokic really showed how good he is in his first playoffs. It was a phenomenal performance. I mean, I think when you look at it, it's unfortunately for them, this 7-game series was for the Warriors to handle business and go back to the finals.
But it was an amazing series. I mean, we saw that game where the 4 overtime game where he actually missed a free throw to send into the 5th overtime pretty much. Getting to game 7. It was a great series, and I think that was the series everybody was looking at like, oh, we don't care about this one, as opposed to the other 3 series, and it ended up being one of the best ones.
That was probably the best series.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
of the whole playoffs.
This series to me was your measuring stick of, do you like basketball or do you say you like basketball?
You like basketball.
Because if you like basketball, you're watching Jokic
Yeah.
and Lillard, and the fact that McCollum showed up like he didn't the whole season
From Lehigh.
and trying to see like which of the guys, like, is Jamal Murray going to show up today or not?
Well,
Gary Harris showed up this
Yeah.
this
No, he
series.
did, he
Jamal
did.
Murray, he is way up and down.
He was up and down. One thing I will say to your question, Quan, about who are the Nuggets, they still haven't. They had a whole punted year of Michael Porter Jr.
I
that's
still I don't buy him.
Hey, listen, you can not buy him or not. He could be another great piece.
Could be.
And then also, especially
By the way,
too,
fully healthy and cleared for summer league.
Michael
Okay.
Porter Jr.
Yep.
See, I
They
mean,
announced
so
that
we'll
today.
we'll see what
Yeah.
they end up getting, because you could end up getting basically that was their last year of being in the lottery. They went from lottery to to number 1 seed or number 2 seed in the West. So you jump a year forward, and this year their draft pick's gonna be trash if they have one. I'm not sure. I know Dave would back me up on that.
They still have their pick.
All right, good job. I knew Dave would have that. But they're picking in the 25s to the 20, to 28, 29, 30. So Michael Porter Jr. coming on board next year, I mean, that completely changes the team again if he's who he says he is.
He could possibly be a somewhat, at least Ben Simmons level player.
Yeah.
He's about 6'10". He's a playmaker, a little bit better shooter, but not a great shooter.
But
not
still
the
willing.
level of
Yeah,
playmaker.
willing
You
shoot,
talking
willing
about
to
who?
shoot.
You talking about
Michael Porter
Oh,
Jr.
yeah.
from Missouri.
So but I mean, adding him, it's basically a no cost addition. They're so far ahead of schedule right now
Exactly.
that I was
Well,
saying before the
wasn't-
show, you should have. It's like if these guys that are free agents really want to win, I would look at going to that team
Yep.
Yeah.
because that's where the opportunity is
That
right
team,
now.
and that team's all under team control. The cap isn't
And
in
young.
any kind
And
of
a lot
bad
of people
situation.
didn't expect them to beat San Antonio in the first round.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
I was one of them.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the only guy that's old is Millsap, and Millsap didn't exactly show up in that last game. Millsap brings them a lot, but he doesn't bring them everything.
Yeah.
Man,
But
look,
they got money to burn.
Which is the reason they had a lottery pick last year, because he got hurt. And that's why they ended up missing the playoffs.
Barely
Yeah,
missed out on the playoffs on the last day.
Yeah.
that's right.
but this Jokic, I was watching him play, and I've seen this kid play before. All right, this wasn't the first time, but this is the first time I watched him play, and I just thought, how is this guy so good? Like,
Footwork.
it's almost like he's been playing since he was 4.
Euro.
You know what I'm saying? I
Probably
mean,
has been.
like in a league since he was 4. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he knew not just who to pass it to, but when to pass it to,
Why?
him, when to shoot it,
What
why
weight
you
to pass it at?
You know what I mean? It was like his IQ. I feel like the players in the league are just, their IQ is so low now.
Thank you.
That Jokic just was blowing my mind. Like, is this an NBA game
but
I'm watching? Like,
I appreciate
this-
you so much right now.
well, I'm just.
But
That's
Steve, you
how
know
I
what's
felt.
Because let Dave tell it.
you
Let
know
Dave
what's
tell it.
funny
These
is
are the
we're-
smartest
we're
players of all
being-
time.
We're being subjected to this game. However,
Arvidas.
He's Arvidas if we
Yeah.
got Arvidas early.
Young. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Okay,
fair.
And on top,
That's
of,
fair.
on top of that,
That's
the
fair.
great thing about Jokic, one of my favorite things is he's not in any way dependent on athleticism. So
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
Dependent.
years of this.
He's athletic deficient. is what that-
We have years of an MVP caliber player
that's not athletic.
That's just scratching the surface, and it's all mental and it's all skill and fundamental.
That 4 overtime game, I started to question: is this dude really 7 feet tall? How is he not collapsed out there? Like seriously.
He played 65 minutes, and people were, I forget what I was watching, where someone, I think it was
56.
Wasn't it 60? I thought it was.
It was 56.
Nah, 56.
Really?
Still,
Overtime's only 5 minutes.
listen,
But I mean,
It was horrible.
it might as well have been 75 minutes. It don't matter. Like it's the same, man. Like, dude. Like,
56,
yeah.
66, 70. It doesn't
At
matter. That's a lot of
68
minutes.
total. Good call.
Toward the end of regulation,
call.
toward the end of regulation, they was like, yeah, he basically only has been out for like 3 minutes of the game. You know what I mean?
Because he can't leave.
And I'm sitting here thinking like, man, this
crazy.
big boy tired. When the first OT started, I said, man, he ain't gonna make it. I was like, Portland about to win because he ain't got no gas.
He got nothing left.
2 overtimes later, I'm like, how is this dude still running up and down the court?
Because he was dragging on
It's-
Cantor's back, like,
it's basketball.
just pull me, please.
It's basketball know-how.
They didn't outplay the Nuggets. They just kept playing until they all got too tired to play. Like, I mean, that's literally how the
I mean,
Blazers
he missed
won
that free
game.
throw, and that was that.
That was an
Yeah,
out
he
of
did.
gas miss. Like, you can't
he
fault
did.
that man for missing.
Look,
And
you know how
what
tired I am right now?
I felt like he did that yesterday in the fourth quarter too. You saw him a little tired.
Mm.
You saw that. I mean, Zach Collins. I got to give it up for Zach Collins for Portland, 21-year-old from Gonzaga,
Las Vegas native.
and that dude. He played him tough. I mean,
He's
he
a
was
player.
scoring on him, but he was playing him tough. He didn't back down. He has at least 50 pounds less than
50.
at least 50 pounds less.
Jokic, a big boy, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And he was doing really well against him. So I give Zach Collins props for that game 7. For someone that young to play like he did yesterday,
No, he played
he
well.
did really well. And I want to give your dude, you just mentioned his name from OKC,
Oh, Cantor?
Cantor.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
that was from the Knicks.
so he's Muslim. So right now, what's the
Oh,
holiday?
yeah, Ramadan.
Did Ramadan start?
So he could
Yeah.
not
Shoot, I got
Has been
drink.
started.
He could
when
not.
did, when did it start?
Well, we'll talk about that.
Like
he
a
could
week
not.
ago?
He could, when the moon touched down at. I don't know.
Stop. No, you gotta. I didn't realize. I have to say Ramadan Kareem to some of my Muslim friends.
So
Thanks for just bypassing that like it wasn't a real holiday. Go ahead.
well,
Continue.
I'm talking
your
about the
story.
holidays right now.
Continue your
so-
story. Yes, they're not allowed to eat from sun up to sundown.
Okay, there you go.
Right. So the point.
Good.
Go
You got,
ahead.
you got
Yeah,
it
go
out. You
ahead.
got it
Go
out.
ahead.
Cantor hadn't eaten. Is where he was going.
Man, look,
Here's
Hakeem
what I-
had years of that. It's all right.
That's what I was going to say. It's like we all have to remember as much credit as he's gotten, and deservedly so, for any of these guys celebrating Ramadan, whether it's in soccer or basketball or anything. I commend you. But Akeem roasted David Robinson during Ramadan.
Ramadan. During Ramadan.
He ate David Robinson instead of food.
Well, and they said on the broadcast that Cantor actually reached out to Akeem to get advice, and I can't remember who it was, but they're like, but that's Akeem Olajuwon, so just because you reach out to him for advice doesn't mean you have the same
my
game.
advice doesn't mean anything to you.
Just remember, Dwight Howard reached out to Akeem for advice. Didn't work out for him.
But I think
That
it's
wasn't Akeem's
amazing the
fault.
fact that these athletes can play, and
Yeah,
you
no, it
don't
is.
get water breaks during the timeout. You cannot drink anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about the
You can't
water.
drink
You don't
You can't
get water
Sure
breaks
can't, that's
Yeah,
during
true.
those timeouts. So for an athlete to be able to keep
I'm so
playing,
thirsty.
and like Cantor was saying, he said it's more mental. So you have to be mentally tough to
That's-
overcome that
that's
stuff. And I
tough.
think it's amazing to be able to do that. And he still had, well over 20 minutes in that game yesterday.
Well, you gotta think though, like these games, especially during the playoffs, most of the games happen Ramadan's over for that day.
Yeah.
Like it's at night, so they can start eating and drinking. It's
Yeah.
okay. He can start to rehydrate and all those things during the game. But it's I still
that
can't.
was an early game yesterday, though.
Yeah, it's still gonna
It
be.
was.
So, yeah, he
It's
was.
still gonna be
He-
tough.
that was a
I
full
mean, yeah,
game.
He
it's-
didn't get Gatorade.
it ain't gonna be easy. I mean, there's some things you can train for, and that's one of the things that in life you can train for it to be prepared mentally, but you can never train for it to be depleted physically. Like he'll know what that feeling is, but he's still gonna get that feeling.
Ask
You know what I
Daniel
mean?
LaRusso.
Like, yeah. So it's ain't asking Daniel LaRusso enough. He's a dude.
You try to paint the fence.
You try to paint the
Wow.
fence.
All right, so the big question of the day, and going back to the last series, the Raptors series, the biggest question of the day: why was Kawhi Leonard's tongue blue when he was screaming after that shot?
Blue Gatorade.
I mean, that's the clear answer.
That's easy.
Yeah, that's
Either that or his programming just glitched at that point.
or he's reptilian. Two things. Those are your
Either way.
He's an avatar.
Those are your options.
Although we did get like a half second of emotion, but by the time they came for the post game thing, it's like it was quiet again.
yeah.
He said I showed emotion because it was like the biggest shot.
Of my whole life.
I felt that this was the proper time to show some emotion.
So that was the first buzzer beater Game 7 winner ever. Jordan did it, but it was Game 5. That's when it was a 5-game series against Cleveland over Elo.
Correct.
Right.
So this was the first ever in a Game 7 buzzer beater shot.
Wow, really?
Crazy.
That ugly shot?
It's a
Hey.
beautiful shot.
It went in.
That shot was look.
That's a
that,
shooter's bounce because it hit the outside of the rim and bounced the other way.
I'll put it to you just like this. I done been in some practices, and NBA players call that the ugliest shot in the game. He's like, no, you can't beat us like that. No, run that back. We running that back. That don't count.
Except for the problem is when the clock's really running, it doesn't matter how you do it.
I don't want to bring bad memories up again,
tough.
Josh, because
Make or miss, Josh.
You did show me the picture of the very blurry ghost picture of yourself.
That's me.
But 2001, the same opportunity with Toronto against Philly happened, and Vince Carter missed the shot.
I still don't know why Vince went to that corner. We had 3 seconds. Dang.
Look, man.
Get to the cup. But they weren't calling fouls. If I remember right, they were not calling any fouls.
The
that
league
game.
was ask Milwaukee. The league was getting Philly to the
Yeah,
finals.
they were gonna do everything they could.
Everybody talks about the Lakers against the Kings, but the unsung real
Milwaukee.
travesty of officiating
Milwaukee
is
should've been
Milwaukee
there.
gets Philly. Because notice
Milwaukee was not getting to that final.
notice that none of those tapes ever show up on NBA playback.
Ever.
The league acts like that series, like
Didn't even
David Stern
exist.
burned those tapes. Because if you saw that series, it's like, okay, so you really are not allowing this to happen. You can say whatever you want, but they're not going to the finals.
Sixers beat Toronto in the East semifinals to get to the NBA finals, pretty much.
And look, and
Oh,
we
yeah,
would
because
have
they're like-
given it to the Bucks.
they're like,
we
okay.
were salivating over the Bucks that year too. It was like, oh no, we gonna kill the Bucks.
Listen, Lakers were just down by 15. That was the tie game. Back then, Josh, were players mad that Vince went to his graduation, or did they not care?
No,
Because I didn't think it was a big deal.
No.
I think the media made it something that didn't need to
No,
be.
they knew as long as he was there in time for game time, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it affected his routine, but it didn't affect the rest of the team.
I feel like it's one of those things where it was going to get used against him if they lost, and it was going to get praised if they won.
Yeah.
Listen, he had just dropped 50 in the game before that. Ain't nobody getting that man no problems.
Look, every
Eddie came back this
look,
time.
basketball ain't some mental chess masterful game for most of the players. They've been playing this game their whole life. It doesn't pretty much, I mean, unless they're rudely inconvenienced with a car accident or something physical happening, most games, it doesn't matter what they doing in the morning. So whether they sit on the couch watching TV or whether they went to their graduation or somebody else's, it doesn't matter. But like Dave said, it's something, it's a lot of stuff that happens like that right now where people just like, if he does it, if he wins, then oh, he's so great because he did this.
He
that
did
morning.
all this that day.
Right.
Yeah,
but then
no,
if they
that's
lose,
true.
it's like, oh, he shouldn't have did that. When in actuality, we all know, like, it doesn't really matter. Like,
That's
it didn't
storylines.
affect the game
To
either way.
Dave's, I know this makes Dave cringe, but I mean, right back to Deion Sanders when he attempted to play in 2 games in one day.
Yeah,
I mean, like it wouldn't have been a story unless
Right.
people made it a story.
exactly.
It's something that you're trying to do.
Trust me, bro.
You know
I,
what I mean?
I could play. I'm not pitching. I could play in 5 baseball games and then go play basketball. Wouldn't affect my basketball game. I'm suck either way. Don't matter.
Oh.
Like,
And I'm glad, going back to our guest, Alan, I'm glad he didn't die in that car accident. Josh would have been laughing like crazy.
That's not funny. I didn't laugh
develop
even
a
that he got
stutter.
hit by a car. That wasn't nice.
You didn't want to?
No, he got hit.
Okay.
I ride my bike.
Well, hold
so
on.
I understand. My dad
He
was
lived. He
hit.
lived.
My
He
dad.
lived.
He lived.
That's the difference.
My
And he
dad's
lived. He
friend-
didn't develop a stutter. So
Oh my God.
Josh was
my
okay.
dad. One of my dad's friends, when he actually used to ride, actually got hit by a car. Like that was always something
that's
big
horrible.
Yeah, that was like something big in my family, like in terms of knowing how to ride on the road. Like you got to know, like no. I
So
ain't
that could
laughing.
never be funny.
No, you got hit by a freaking car. Ain't nothing funny. Well,
I mean, you laughed at Bayheim.
depends.
What if he was on his
Exactly.
bike and he was
Depends.
stuttering trying to say stop and the car hit him because he couldn't get stop out fast
That's
enough?
not
I didn't know he was saying stop. Officer, I didn't know he was saying stop. Wow.
Bang.
Wow.
There what,
That's
Josh?
wow. See? I'm gonna find a way to
And now
laugh.
he's laughing.
I'm gonna find a way to
See?
laugh. I'm gonna find a way to laugh.
See?
That's still funny.
He's
That's-
like, I would
it's easy
never
to bring
laugh
it out
about
of him.
somebody getting hit by a car. And I just gave him one scenario.
What
and
are we
he's laughing.
doing? What are we doing with our lives?
I'm a horrible person, but that joke, I'm gonna go out laughing. You ain't gotta
Wow.
worry about me with that. I'm always
Wow.
find a way to laugh. It's good stuff.
Wow. All right, we got the Warriors and Portland Trailblazers. Who you guys got in how many games? And Kevin Durant's missing probably the first 2 games at least,
Correct.
which they might sit him out the whole series just because.
Why not?
Yeah.
Get ready for Giannis.
I think you definitely see where you're at, where the team's at. If they come out and they go up 2-0 again
Without him?
without him, I think they're like, don't rush. Like you know what I mean, come back, but you ain't gotta stress out.
Because they can come back home 2-2 and still be like, okay, now you can come back.
They beat Portland a couple years ago when he was hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
they did. Yeah, they did.
The only time they've matched up, I think they're 8-1 against them in the playoffs of all time, which has been the last 3 years.
That's not good.
Hey,
and,
about to
and,
be
and you
12
saw
of them.
that look in Curry and Thompson's eyes in that game 6. They're like, oh, without Kevin Durant, we're not good. We're gonna lose this game.
We're back to
Yeah.
All right.
wait, like don't ever kick me off the court, boy. Did you see that one?
Yeah,
Did you see
that
that
was
one? That
great.
one was
Yeah,
good.
that was
That was
great.
good.
So what
was
he's
good.
talking about is Steph Curry was shooting around, practicing before the game,
scheduled practice. time,
scheduled
by the way.
practice. Chris Paul comes in and literally kicks him off the court, tells everybody, like, you need to get him off the court.
Yeah, he's not allowed to be on the court.
So guess what he does? Okay, I guess, like, I'll leave the court. Scorches Chris Paul, which has the worst contract in the NBA right now. This is going to be
No, you forgot about John Wall.
John Wall can come back and still be young. Chris Paul has the worst contract in the NBA.
Achilles
is
injury,
hey.
knee problems.
You could
fat.
you could trade John Wall. There is no.
You can't trade John Wall.
Are you telling me he's not more tradable than Chris Paul right now?
100%.
Exactly.
100%. John Wall is not more tradable.
Yes, he
A
is.
team would take Chris Paul.
Nobody would take Chris
Oh,
Paul.
I can
Not
tell
with
you
that
one team
contract.
that would take him.
Not with that
Who's take-
contract.
oh,
Your
Lakers.
Los Angeles Lakers.
No, they wouldn't. No, they
LeBron
wouldn't.
James would go in and say, Chris Paul's
No, they
coming.
wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
Okay.
No, they
All
wouldn't.
right.
Oh my
Guarantee
god.
that wouldn't
Okay.
happen.
I already said that was gonna happen last summer. I
Okay.
was like,
Guarantee
here
that
comes
wouldn't
Chris
happen.
Paul. Chris Paul's coming.
All right.
The Super
So-
Fins.
Nope.
So in essence, it took Steph Curry the first half to warm up because he was like 0 for
No,
something.
and that was what they were saying. Like he messed up his routine, and it was like, well, it worked for about a half, and then he got mad. Like, that
Even
was
the
end of
first
that.
half of the third quarter, he looked horrible.
I hate
Yeah.
to break it to anybody, but they actually debunked part of that story. It happened days before. It happened, but it happened like on Sunday, not on Friday.
What?
Yeah, it didn't happen like right before the game. They had to retract part of the story.
Oh,
It happened,
see,
but it didn't happen the day
Oh,
before the
my
game.
See?
God. We shouldn't have even brought it up then.
It's not even.
Just
a
messed
story.
up my story.
I just found out about it today.
really?
You shouldn't have said it.
Ah,
That's all
Whatever.
right. Way to keep everyone
I'm
honest.
trying to
Dave.
keep us factual.
Yeah, keep us
Yeah,
honest,
We,
Dave. I
listen,
respect
I
it.
didn't know till earlier today.
Because I didn't know that either.
yeah, meaning I
keep-
just found out right now.
Listen, it
keep
doesn't
it
matter. Chris Paul is a punk, and he deserves whatever he gets.
And I hope he burns in hell.
Yes, he deserved to die.
Oh my God.
makes
Dave,
sense.
who do you like in the league? Who
do I like? I
who do
think
you-
there's a
I like
long
Russ.
list of players.
Paul
Yeah, outside of your team?
He didn't
Go.
like half his team. What are you talking
Giannis,
about?
Steph,
Okay.
Raymond
Clay.
Felton?
oh my God.
I feel bad for him every time I see him on a game. I'm just like, how is he in the league
How
still?
do you feel bad for him? He's cashing checks.
No,
He's
no.
taking those checks to the
I feel bad
Waffle
for
House.
I feel bad for you.
Oh,
I never said I feel bad for Raymond
oh,
Felton.
thank God.
Feels
No.
bad for you.
Feel bad for you.
Josh, who
Thankfully.
you got Warriors in what?
I'll say 6 simply because Portland they've shown a lot. They've shown a they're not willing to quit. They're not willing to go away. They're not willing to quit. I think they might steal one in Golden State because they've done it during the season. So I think they at least have the confidence to do it. Did the play just happen?
Yes,
Yeah,
it just
Sorry,
happened.
that was
I
beautiful.
mean, it just
that was a great
happened.
alley-oop.
Let's see,
19
play.
years ago.
19 years ago.
It's a good
but-
play.
Can't believe that's been
That
19
one hurt.
years.
That one did hurt when it happened though. Like I was pulling for Portland. Excuse me, I was pulling for Portland so hard in that series
I would pull for
because
anybody.
I
over the
wasn't
Lakers.
ready for the Lakers to win. Like I was cheering for because like that was very hard for me
I was. What year
as a
was that?
Bulls fan again. For Phil, like I was like I can't really cheer for you right now, Phil. Like I don't know how to feel.
Oh, that's this one over here. Okay.
I'd pull for I don't know who over the Lakers. I pull for Al Qaeda over the Lakers.
Oh my God, not Al Qaeda. He's pulling for the Taliban over the
So
Lakers.
that was their first of 5 in the last 20 years. It's not too bad. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna not want to
We just
enact a swear jar.
disregard.
All right, Steve, who you got? Warriors and Portland, because I think it is going to be a better series than people think.
I think it'll be 4 really good games. That's how I honestly feel. If I have to make a pick, I'm going to give Portland 1.
So you got him in 5.
I also had them taking the Rockets in 5. So I mean, I guess it could go 6. Maybe the Warriors ain't good on the road in the playoffs. I don't know, but I don't think
Well,
that,
they closed out in Houston.
Yeah, they closed out.
But that was the only one they won.
Yeah.
That was the
But
only
so
one
like,
they won there.
I mean, I take the Warriors in 5.
Dave.
Gentlemen sweep 5.
Yeah.
I got
I-
Portland.
and no
I got
disrespect to
Warriors in
Portland.
6.
No disrespect to Portland by this. They don't have enough.
Yeah, they're good, just not good enough.
I
just not
think
great.
Warriors without KD might still take them too lightly.
I
And,
see.
and
I
they're going to
just
sneak in one of those games.
I don't think they're going to take him too lightly.
I think it's the opposite because you saw that game in Houston. It's like
Yeah.
when Clay comes out looking like that, and then Steph came out in the second half, and guys are Iguodala's flying around, Draymond's flying around.
Yeah.
Draymond actually impressed me a lot.
These guys,
Last series,
they
yeah.
showed their level of pride. They are so prideful that it's like you could tell they were in each other's ears. Like they think we can't win these games without KD.
You're garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some sports
You're
books
garbage,
had
Clay.
some sports books had them as 7.5 point underdogs in
No
Game 6.
way, did
Yes.
they? Oh, I should have that going. I
And you
wasn't
know
paying
what?
attention.
There's some people you can talk trash to, and then there's some people like if you can talk trash to Golden State and they don't care. But if there's any little bit of fact behind that trash talk, it's gonna get them pumped up,
Yeah.
and that's what you don't want, man. Like just
Don't wake Clay
just
up.
don't.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
don't
look,
poke the bear.
They
man.
actually started running sets again. They haven't really run many
Hey.
sets, like
Because you rely on Kevin
yeah,
Durant too
well,
much.
because I mean, look, if we'll run a set for the first 14 seconds of the shot clock, and if it doesn't work out, we're gonna go to the matchup issue.
Somebody shoot it.
You just go to the computer, and
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna do.
Analytics.
Right.
You know what
Either
I'm saying?
that or just give the ball to Kevin Durant.
Pretty
he can
much,
score on
yeah.
anyone in the world.
If he's had his moment, just let him keep going. But I think going back to this, like we said last week, it brought them back to who they are, and that was a team with a lot of movement, a team that moves the ball well,
Yeah.
and everyone's getting looks.
And they flew around too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, now I want to talk about Houston. Where is Houston now? Because we already talked about their window closing last year. That was the best opportunity. Now this year they had another opportunity. Kevin Durant goes out. You have to win those games. It was a tie game going into the fourth quarter when Durant went out. They lost. Harden had 3 shots, I think, in Game 5 in Oakland.
Oh yeah.
And then
Game 5, yeah.
he played well in Game 6. PJ Tucker played really well.
PJ Tucker played fantastic defense.
He played
too.
above his head.
Now Chris Paul's their
Chris
fourth.
Chris Paul played
Chris
well.
Paul played well. Chris Paul had like 25.
And that was the only game in the series he really did play well.
Yeah, he was getting like 12.
But he showed up. He showed
did.
up.
He did.
Glenn Capella played like garbage.
But don't they have to show up a lot more in a Game 6? Like they played good. Don't you have to like just be like, let's try
They don't
to
have
dominate?
anybody else.
The
I'm
biggest,
talking about their stars. Like
No, that's what I'm
if
saying.
Chris Paul
Like,
gets 23, doesn't he need 33? Doesn't Harden need to pull out one of those 50-point regular season games?
well, he's not going to get that in the playoffs because the playoffs are watching him differently.
I mean,
He's
look,
not getting
look,
he's not
look.
getting those regular season.
Well, he's
I'm-
not getting
I'm
those
playing-
calls. He's not just getting to the line 20 times without there being some ramifications of
Right.
of some significant
And you also
chin checks.
you also have to look at they're a low percentage shooting team most of the time. Individually, when you're looking at the
Yeah.
players, I mean, even in that game, yeah, Harden had 35 points, but he was
He's
11
probably-
for
Yeah, he
26
probably
or something like that.
Right,
28.
he probably shot 30%
You know what I mean?
from
And that's
three.
what I'm saying. Like, so when you're missing that much, it's going to be hard for you to win. Even though the end result says, yeah, he put up 30-something points. You know, he did his part. Chris Paul put up 20-something points. He did his part. But who was getting rebounds? Who was stealing the ball? Who was making stops?
Look, listen, every game in that series, I'm not sure about game 6. I didn't check game 6, but every game in the series, whoever won the rebounding battle won the game.
Yeah, and
there was still as
Golden
much
State won the
analytics.
rebounding battle thanks to
Did
Kevon
they?
Looney.
And look, you know, in this game, in this time of analytics and everything, there's still a lot of regular old school keys that still went out.
Right.
We won the rebounding battle. We got second chance
Rebound the
points.
basketball.
We won the game. You know what I mean? Like, how many turnovers did you have? Okay, the team that turned it over the most, they lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those things, they still matter. And so, to Steve's point, if you're missing at that kind of a clip, they've been getting a lot of offensive rebounds. They've been getting a lot of second, third, fourth chances in some instances during the series. But if they weren't getting that, then yeah, that's the reason why they lost.
All right, let's talk about the future of the Rockets now. Their window closing. They will have pretty much the same team next year.
They have to.
They can't make a lot of improvements.
No,
they
they
can't
can't.
make a lot of trades. They have Capella for about 15 to 18 a year.
It's more than that.
What's that?
It's more than that. He's over 20
That's just
every year. Oh no, you're looking at a
I
life
would listen.
of $100 million between Harden,
Steve.
Paul, and Capella.
All right,
If
so
you were
Chris
responsible
Paul
for me
in
getting $20 million a year, I would wax your car every day, dog. Like, do you understand? He needs to be like
Chris Paul at the age
polishing-
of 33 got $35 million this year.
Yeah,
It
The
goes
age
up
of
next year.
34 next year is $38 million.
Mhm.
35, $41 million. The
Mhm.
age of 36, $44 million in 2021.
With no hamstrings.
What crackhead deal was that?
It was required. It's part of the under-the-table deal that got him to take that deal because the union president doesn't walk away from his max unless he knows, okay, we're paying you after this.
That's
They had to
crazy.
pay him. There
That's-
was no choice.
That's crazy.
There
I
was no
said
choice,
it when
or
they
you can never do it
signed
again.
him.
And they paid
I
him
didn't even
off,
look at the deal.
They
I-
paid him off, missing the last few games in the playoffs
Yeah.
over a hamstring that we
Yes.
all know about.
Wow.
And then they paid him this contract after that.
Well, so to your point too of they had a better chance to win last year, or their window really was last year. I feel like actually their window was this year because last year at least they did legitimately have an excuse.
Yeah.
Chris Paul got hurt. When he was there, they won. He got hurt,
but
and they lost two
But
straight
they had an
games.
excuse this year too because Kevin Durant got hurt.
But that excuse helps them more.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Last year it was like, oh, well, we didn't win. We was beating y'all before Chris Paul got
our player
hurt,
went down.
and then Chris Paul got hurt, and then they won 2 games.
And
Like,
as,
you know what I mean?
also, as we know from Rockets fans, they'll blame Scott Foster. They'll blame a number of other things.
Just say his name.
This year there was Kareem.
Okay.
But Kareem's not alone. He's not the only Rockets fan that
Well,
thinks
he's
that.
the one that.
I mean,
That's on the show.
Scott Foster is awful. That's
Sorry, that's Scott Foster. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that anytime you see him, just be prepared for the nonsense.
Although in Game 2 of this series, Scott Foster and Ed Malloy crew reffed a great game.
it was a good game.
Yeah.
It's game 2. No, nothing on the line
Yeah.
in game 2, baby.
Still, that's never stopped him before.
Oh no. Game 2, there's no eyeballs.
Yeah.
Nobody's really paying attention, especially also.
Oh no,
also,
everybody was paying
it was
attention
because it was coming
complaints.
off of game 1, which
Yeah.
was a horribly officiated game. So then it's like, oh, okay, we'll call it a good game. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Game 2.
Well, I mean, on top
Not
of it,
really on the line.
Ed Malloy, who's terrible. Ed Malloy, the
Ed-
king of the quick tech.
Ed's bad. Ed's bad too.
How many good
So is his
refs are there
haircut.
left?
Well, see, there's variations of bad. I can tell you, like, there's more refs where I'm like, they blend.
Variations of
No, there's more refs that blend in. Where you're like, I don't know their name yet.
What do
And
you
that's
think about-
fine.
Yeah,
When I know your
I got
name,
you, I got
you're
you,
hot
yeah.
trash juice. I'm like, oh no, oh it's gonna be a rough night
What do you
tonight.
what do you think about Ken Maurer?
Ken goes up and down. Like he'll have
I
a
think
good
he
game.
can ref a good game.
He'll
though.
have a good game, and then he'll have a game where you're like, what are you watching? Like it depends. It depends on what crew he's on because he floats sometimes.
Listen, bring Jess Kersey back.
Who's the ref? Who's the worst?
Oh, Scott. Between Scott, it will be
Scott
Scott's
and
crew.
Malloy?
Scott's crew, Tony.
Tony Brothers is probably
Tony
the
bad.
worst.
Tony
Tony
bad.
Brothers is so bad.
Tony bad, but we Facebook friends. So I gotta keep him. Gotta keep that quiet.
Does he know your name is Phony Brothers in our chat group?
You're welcome for that. You're welcome for that.
Is that still my name?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you.
Why
guys.
would anybody ever change
Oh
that?
my god.
That was
one of my
forever.
masterpieces.
Yes,
Changing
that
that
was.
bag of.
That was a great one by Dave.
I noticed it was
I
changed.
know, I
stopped
know that
paying
I will
attention.
never change it. That's for sure.
It depends. Sometimes Josh does stuff that just warrants a name change.
Oh,
Well,
it
that's
happened.
because somebody erroneously said you look like Tony Brothers. So
that was
I don't know who
uncalled
said that
for.
either, though.
It was Cream. It was uncalled for, is what it was.
Okay.
All right, so
that was
here,
black on black crime right
I'll
there.
give Cream, I'll give Cream the credit.
according to the refs, here are the 3 best referees and the 3 worst referees.
Okay, go ahead.
All right,
Best is Scott
the best,
Foster.
best. Danny Crawford.
Dan was horrible,
Danny Crawford.
but
According to the players.
he's retired now. He's retired.
Okay.
now.
Yeah, he's
Joey Crawford.
Oh.
No relation. Joey Crawford.
Yeah, we know
excuse
no
me.
relation.
Excuse me.
Oh, Ben
Danny
Paul.
wasn't that bad.
No.
Danny wasn't that bad.
I like Danny.
Joey was bad.
Joey was bad.
No
Joey
relation?
was bad.
No relation.
Joey was bad, but
Are you
Danny,
sure, Steve?
Danny Crawford. I
They
mean,
both last name Crawford.
They're two different races.
It literally says Joey
unless
Crawford.
you
No
ask
relation.
Doc. Ask Doc about Danny Crawford.
Yeah,
Well, listen, Joey Crawford kicked out Tim Duncan as he was on the bench.
for smiling on the bench.
Joey Crawford
You
was
smiling, folks, son.
Joey Crawford was the all-time "You're here to see me" ref.
Yes.
His successor is Scott Foster.
Yes.
All right, Monty McCutcheon.
Monty McCutcheon.
Monty McCutcheon was
Monty
a good ref.
McCutcheon's good
All right.
ref.
So we agree. Number 3. All right, 3 worst. Anybody want to guess who the first worst is?
Ted Donaghy.
Tim Donaghy.
Oh, Tim,
Always
Tim.
has to be Tim Donaghy.
Scott Foster.
Yep.
Wow.
24 votes as the worst.
Oh, what's
Official.
your name? Steve Javi. Go ahead.
Lauren Holtkamp.
Oh, girl.
Second worst.
Yeah, she's bad.
Yeah.
She's bad.
Yeah, but she's
And-
not getting high-profile assignments either.
She's not, but she's bad.
And Mark Davis is the worst.
Don't know him.
He's not
I think
good.
I remember him.
He's
I think
not
I
good.
remember
Well,
him.
Scott Foster is technically the worst of the worst.
Steve
but,
Javi
yeah.
didn't make it? That's interesting.
Yeah.
He was
Steve
bad.
Javi used to be a good ref.
No, bro.
Until he wanted to get famous.
Bro,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
trying to tell
of
you,
course.
Steve Javi was he was the ref that everyone
liked
had their eyes
I
on.
liked hearing Monty McCutcheon up towards the top because Monty.
Yeah, he's a good
ref.
ref. He's a good ref.
All right, the only people we still have watching is ref. So let's talk about something else.
Ref talk.
Ref talk on unnamed ref
Hey,
talk.
speaking of Joey Crawford, he's out there. His hunchback is out there on this game.
This is before Shaq got shot in the foot.
Poor Shaq.
Poor Shaq.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing all right. All right, Eastern Conference Finals. We have Kawhi Leonard versus Giannis Kupo.
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
Good job, Steve. Say it.
Antetokounmpo.
Good job, Steve.
Spell it, Steve.
No.
A-N-T.
Quan, can I
I'm
ask?
not.
Can I ask a really random question for like Facebook Watch or YouTube or something? Can I get you to do an imitation of the Joey Crawford run?
Oh gosh. I don't even know if I could do that.
Joey Crawford's run.
Where was Dick Bavetta on that list?
It
He was a
just
good
has the
ref.
top 3 and the
Dick was a good
bottom
ref.
3, and the article kind of mentions a handful of refs here and there.
Dick was
but
famous, but
Yeah.
was trying to get famous, but was also fun-loving.
Yeah, I love.
So everybody loved Dick. Everybody loved Dick Bavetta. Remember when he raced Charles Barkley at
Yes,
the
I
All-Star
did.
break when
And
he
I
was
remember,
like 80 years
I
old?
remember when he kissed him on the lips, and that was where
Whoa.
things got a little off. The race took a turn for the worst.
I'm surprised Bennett Salvatore didn't get in one of those worst
Yeah,
lists too.
yeah. Bennett. Yeah, he wasn't bad.
But I mean, he was also a
He's
David.
another
he
one of my
was a
refs that
David-
gave treats.
He was a David Stern deployment one where it's like, we need
Oh,
this
yeah.
series to
Oh,
change.
oh, for
so
sure.
Bennett, you have the assignment.
Oh, sure. Bennett definitely was going to make some calls that were quite questionable.
So Giannis versus Kawhi.
Yes. Well, look. You know, I think I can't remember if I said this in the group or if I said this last week. The biggest thing for me was I felt like I was cheering for Philly, but I felt that Toronto would give Milwaukee a better series. Toronto has a defender that at least can give Giannis problems. Kawhi is not as tall, but he at least is as athletic and can move to the point where he can
As athletic?
Kawhi's pretty athletic.
He is amazingly athletic. I'm not disrespecting him.
especially
But Giannis,
especially defensively. You know what I mean? Like he's
Defensively,
in
yeah.
terms of what he can do defensively. I understand. I understand.
disparaging,
No,
but
I
Giannis is
I
something
understand.
else.
But here I'll put it to you like this: who on Philly was going to stop him?
Oh, no one.
Thank you, Jimmy Butler. If that's their best defender, who he's been touted to be a best defender, he was getting cooked at times
he's
in the
too
last
small,
two
too,
series.
yeah.
He's too small.
small
He
to
couldn't
guard
do
Giannis.
anything. Joel Embiid can't move well enough. He can move, north-south, but laterally he ain't going to be moving like that
not at all.
to the point where he's going to do anything with Giannis.
I think Kawhi's too small. I think they're probably going to get stuck putting Siakam
Well,
on
I
him.
feel like he's too small, but I think he can monitor him for stretches of the game.
Oh, I
like
agree
in
with
the
that.
fourth quarter, he definitely can be there. Like, all right, this is a 3-4 point game. I'm gonna be here, and that's where they'll deploy their Kawhi strategy. I don't think he's gonna be doing it the whole game because he'll foul out or he'll get in trouble too. So I think that it's gonna be an interesting series. I feel like Toronto has a good shot.
So who are you taking?
All right, I'll say Toronto in 7.
Okay. Another 7-game series, which would be great. I'm taking Milwaukee in 6, even though I do want to see a 7-game series. I love this series. Seeing two of the best players in the NBA that a lot of people don't know yet, like I said, the average NBA watcher, they don't know that these are two of the best players in the league by far.
Yeah.
And this is before Kawhi shot yesterday. I mean, he's won an MVP in the NBA Finals before against LeBron James and the Cramps. This is going to be a great series, I think. These are two of my favorite players to watch that are non-Lakers. And I think it's going to be a great series. I hope it goes 7. I'm taking Milwaukee in 6, though, because I think, like Dave was mentioning earlier, I think the surrounding cast is playing harder. And I hope that Toronto, now that they won this series, their surrounding cast isn't scared anymore, because yesterday it looked weird with some of the shots they were passing up.
Well, except for the fact that it took almost 40 shots for Kawhi for them to win, and that's
41
not really
points, 39 shots.
And that's not really Kawhi's game
at all.
I don't know that any of them really stepped up other than Kawhi. Kawhi just decided we're not losing.
No, I'm saying they didn't step up. I'm saying I hope that after that series, that they got through that, now they step up this series and realize, like, we can't win doing that.
Well, there's a lot
against Milwaukee.
There's
Bucks.
a lot less star power. You can say that. There's a lot, like, this series now is really 2 singular stars, whereas this last series,
which brings to me is actually bigger star power, though.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, like, in terms of when you talk about Toronto, they had to be contending against Tobias Harris, who's an all-star. They had to be contending with
all-star-ish.
No, didn't he make the all-star team?
He's never made all-star team.
He didn't make the all-star team this year?
Mm-hmm. No.
Fair enough. All-star.
He was still in the West.
That's true too. He is very much.
He's all-star.
He's very much right on the cusp.
Yeah.
But they have 3 legit all-stars.
Yeah, definitely.
They have 3. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now it's Milwaukee versus Toronto, and both teams have 1.
Well, Kyle Lowry's an all-star every year.
Nobody
in this room agrees.
But one of them is probably the MVP of the league this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One's been MVP of some finals.
One
final.
One.
And
Fair
missed
enough.
a free throw to lose another final.
Yeah, missed a free throw.
Some free throws.
Missed free throws down the stretch. Oh,
that
one still hurts my heart.
I didn't think Boston would win a game against the Bucks. They won that first one by like 20 or 30 or something, and everybody
somebody
was
has
like,
cursed them.
Listen, and everybody was
somebody
like,
in this room, somebody in this room, not on this side of the room, thought after that game 1, it was over. He picked Boston.
Well, I picked Boston beforehand. I didn't pick them when Paul Pierce said something.
Paul Pierce is ridiculous.
I picked the Bucks to win. When the Celtics won that first game, I said the Bucks just fell asleep. They got a little too comfortable, thought they were still playing the Pistons, and wasn't. But they're going to wake up and win in 5, and they won in 5.
Did you say 5?
That's exactly what I said.
Steve loves the number 5.
I love the number 5.
Name.
You feel like everybody losing in 5.
Hey,
Toronto wins by 5.
When he was a kid, he was watching Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
numbers.
But I'm right.
His mom's like, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
No, Mom. 5.
Hey, Warriors won game 6 by 5.
Mom, give me 5 or I'll treat you like an Asian lady.
When I go to Chong's, I order the number 5.
China man, give me a number 5.
Chong's so ghetto, ain't no numbers in there. You better tell him what you want.
Oh my God.
Steve, those symbols are numbers.
House, baby.
That symbol is a number.
The symbols tell a story, Steve. They just tell a story in a different language.
Ain't even no symbols in there.
So talking about numbers and symbols, I had a friend yesterday. She got a new phone.
Okay.
And her daughter, they're looking for a phone case, and her daughter is saying like, "Oh, you got the iPhone X." She's like, "I don't have the iPhone X. I got the iPhone 10."
Oh Lord. Oh.
And she's like,
Lord.
and I'm like, no.
Oh.
I hope she's not watching.
My God.
I hope she's not watching right now. And I was like, X is Roman numeral for 10.
Oh.
So I'm like, your daughter knows that, and now you know it.
Oh.
Hey man.
Dumb is
Hey,
dumb
man.
in any language.
Wait,
Hey man.
I mean, don't call her dumb. She's my friend.
No, that's dumb. I call a spade a black spade.
Wow.
That's dumb as hell.
Me too.
That's dumb.
Me too.
Sorry. I'm sorry that your friend
Wow.
is mentally challenged.
Wow.
Look, man.
Yikes.
I blame public school, man. You know everybody can't go to
No, I
private school,
blame
man.
the parents. That's a parent. That's a parental issue.
You know, it's tough, man. I'm a parent, man.
It's like
hard.
that tells me that you never watched Super Bowls, WrestleManias, nothing. Because you
Jordans?
definitely want to know. Jordans. You never had any J's. You didn't watch.
You missed a lot of life.
You didn't watch.
Is what
You didn't watch.
you're telling me.
Because if you watch WrestleManias, you know all your Roman numerals.
Listen,
Same thing.
the end of movies at the end of the MGM movies, it's got all the XXFCM. Like you got all that right there. Like you got a lot of Roman numerals in life.
I don't have an iPhone X. I got an iPhone 10.
Word, son? Where you get the? I would have just kept going with it. Where you get an iPhone 10 at?
Where you get that X at though?
She's
Oh,
like,
it was
Mom, it's the new one.
It was at the Apple store. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, they got X's.
DM10. 10 gonna give it to you.
Wow.
DMT.
Wow.
DM10.
Oh
Oh, I got Steve on that one.
my! Yeah, he did.
Man.
10 gonna give it to you.
I don't even know how we
my
got there.
Goodness, yeah, that's rough. That's
Oh, we were
bad.
talking about Steve's Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, that's right.
Not
That's
having
right.
numbers.
That's where it happened.
Not having numbers.
That's where it happened.
Look,
B.
look, Bucks and 5. That's what I'm saying.
Bucks and
five.
Bucks and V.
Bucks and V.
Bucks and V, son.
Oh, that's bad.
Steve, what's your favorite Maroon 5 album?
That one song where he be singing.
I said album.
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely don't know.
What's your favorite
What
album?
was
That
their
one song.
first like major album?
You probably like the V album.
That's the only one I
The
got.
5,
Dude,
the
I
fifth
can tell
one?
you.
That's
Josh,
which one of their songs, right?
Josh, you might not know this, but when we were watching the Super Bowl at Todd's house,
Uh-oh.
Christina Huff is a big Maroon 5 fan.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
She's
I remember
all
you saying
about it.
something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
didn't see it live in action.
Oh,
She
no.
knew every song,
Wow.
every lyric.
And then he got naked and showed nipples?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a rough time for you.
I was cool.
You
Hey.
still seem a little salty,
yeah,
yeah.
salty
He's
saltine
shaking
cracker.
over there. He's
Hey.
shaking over there.
But guess what though? I put that ring on her finger, son.
Oh my goodness!
I think I won.
I think you still a Ritz cracker over there. Is what I think.
You're
I think
Del,
you're quite something.
you're Del Taco fries at midnight.
Hey,
You're the new batch. You're the fresh batch of fries at McDonald's, right?
I knocked that woman up 3 times, son. Check yourself. before you wreck
I.
yourself.
That's 3.
I.
Aye, son. Hey.
All 3 boys. Wait.
Oh no!
Nope.
No boys.
Nope.
That's called Nope Dog.
So number 4.
That's
Listen,
that's-
Steve, your favorite number is 5. You're going to get her pregnant 2 more times. The next one, I'm sorry, is going to be a girl. The 5th one will be a boy, Steve.
Nah.
bro.
The prophecy, Quanstradamus.
Bro, I'd
Do
I'd
it.
slap you personally.
Do it, Steve. Your favorite
them
number is
next,
5.
Them next 2 kids gonna be miracle babies. I tell you that.
They're fighting through a lot of defenses.
Hey, them kids gonna be the Avengers, son.
Well, listen, if you turn BET on at 1 in the morning, you can get some Miracle Spring water. So you might want to get that.
That
Man.
is too funny.
Get the prayer handkerchief, Steve.
That is too.
Call.
Peter Popoff.
I got a call now for that $10 prayer package.
Oh my! Wait, is Peter Popoff the dude be slapping people with his coat?
Yeah.
No, that's Benny Hinn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Popoff, I think had the prayer handkerchief.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Wow. Wow.
My favorite one is still the Jedi version of that.
Oh, with Benny
I haven't
Hinn
seen
that one.
swinging it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
They put a lightsaber in his hand.
Shut up! I haven't
And then they
seen
put the
that.
Emperor lightning in his hands too.
Oh.
Gosh.
Hey,
Was I the only person that heard the Emperor laugh at the end of the Star Wars preview?
You're the
No,
only
everyone
one.
did.
You're the
It's-
only one.
everybody
You're
heard
the
It's
it.
only
announced.
one.
The guy was at like the thing when they
He
showed
just
it.
saw the preview yesterday.
I'm
Yeah.
very, very excited.
Yeah.
But I'm the only one.
Because
No,
clearly no
I
one
would-
ever dies.
I wasn't sure. I heard him though, and I was like, What happened?
Yeah, bro.
What happened? I'm very excited.
When Thanos
Josh
snapped, it
doesn't
opened
know.
up a new
Josh
multiverse.
doesn't own the internet yet, folks.
Man, I was the first. I was the one that told everybody to watch the preview. Don't come for my life.
What?
I said I was the one. I was the one that said it. Yes. Look back in the group.
I ain't
Look
scrolling back that far.
yeah, that is.
I ain't scrolling back past yesterday.
That
about
is
700 comments.
listen. That is a long thread. Quan will do it, but he won't get there until about 7 to 9. He's like, dang, I scrolled past it about an hour back. I didn't realize I had to scroll back down.
We need to hire somebody to just archive the group.
We need
chat.
an intern. Definitely need an intern. We need an intern to scrub our stuff for sure. Because if anybody ever gets a
whoa.
I mean, scrub our thread. Nobody.
Okay, so I actually
okay.
drove a lady last night that does digital forensics. And so
Wow.
I actually wanted to get her on for a podcast, but she doesn't live in town. But she was telling me all that, like, it's so hard to erase anything. So every single
Yeah.
thing you do in emails, online,
Yeah.
texting,
It's in
Facebook
Phone
friends you
calls.
make, Josh.
Facebook
Hey.
friends you make,
Hey, bro.
fake profiles you make, like everything. So if you get in trouble with the law, and they do that with big businesses, that's kind of what her job is.
Oh, sure.
To help with lawyers. Like, look, we need these
This
emails from this person from this year to this year, only going, with Bank of America, whatever. So everything is like, no matter what you do digitally, it is stamped somewhere. It's in the world.
it's
That's
in-
crazy.
And that's why I tell people, like, the text you send and different things that you send, like, it's going from me to you, but there's somewhere else it's going to get to you. And a lot of people, especially the younger generation, they put everything out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, criminals these days, it's so easy to find what they're doing because
people smoke weed and do different things online. It's like, bro, like, why
here's my guns.
Yeah, yeah.
You're on probation, bro.
Next to my weed, like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, you don't live in a legal state.
In front of the car.
It's not legal where you live.
In front of the car that's stolen.
That's just irresponsible.
Yeah.
They
don't know what to
caught
tell you
those
there.
kids that shot that rapper, Triple X.
Oh,
That's how they
yeah.
caught him. They
Don't try to
Yeah,
say his
I
name.
know, I'm not-
I wasn't
I
even
don't
gonna
know,
clown you
yeah.
because I literally was like, that might be it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I know it's XXX something. You know what I'm talking about.
I know, yeah.
He got killed, and the guys who the guys who killed him posted like the stuff that they stole and some other stuff with guns and everything else on Instagram. That's how they got caught. Like,
Well,
it's idiots.
you
man.
wanted to go to jail.
Apparently,
you
like,
apparently wanted to go to jail. I don't
Snitch on
feel bad for
yourself.
you. You dry snitching
Man.
on yourself. It's a problem.
Crazy.
It's a real problem.
All right, Robert Kraft got the video. They're not going to show the video.
What a shock.
Suppressed.
Good.
Throw it out. Throw out all the evidence.
I mean, nobody wanted to see that video anyways, did they?
Nah.
Oh my God.
World star!
Oh my God. I have a story to tell you after the show though.
Okay, tell us.
No.
We're actually logged out.
No, we're not. That'll be after the show. Just remind me to say Robert Kraft at the end because I got a story that came up during the draft combine that rock your world. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you some more about that too. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So after
but
the show.
it's personal though. It's legit personal, so I can't even divulge even a little bit of it. Just remind me. Don't let me leave.
Well, I mean, we're about to wrap up anyway, so.
Bucks
I
and
don't know if I
five.
believe you.
I mean, it's 6:05.
Nice.
If everybody was here on time, we would have already been done with the show.
Yep.
We got 8 minutes or 7 minutes left.
I want to hear your yeps over there,
Yep.
Steve.
Listen, Steve
wasn't
went,
late.
got water for the crew,
Oh,
and still made it here on time.
I appreciate that. Steve.
Right on.
true.
time.
Josh came with food for not the crew.
No,
For
Josh
himself.
gave food for Josh. One
Yeah.
time, you want me to bring pizza? I'll bring pizza.
Okay. I'll never
You're
complain
probably
about
gonna
pizza.
bring like pineapple pizza or some nonsense.
No, just tell me what you want.
and
What
there's
kind
nothing
of
wrong with
pizza you
pineapple
eating,
pizza.
Josh?
Pineapple pizza is terrible.
No.
There's
What do
nothing
I eat
wrong
right
with
now?
pineapple pizza.
I don't eat any. I eat tomato and onion because I can't have pepperoni
Why you can't have pepperoni?
because I'm pescatarian until June.
Why would you do that?
You're
That's
Presbyterian?
Stop doing that. My brother did that. You
worship Joe Pesci?
Look, my brothers were like, he was like, yeah, no, I just thought you changed your faith. I was like, what? Like, and you guys just bypassed that. Like, we didn't have a conversation. Like, oh yeah, he's Presbyterian. Like, what? Like he was like, yeah, Josh is a Presbyterian. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm a
He goes to all
pescatarian.
white church now.
So what?
Pescatarian.
What do the Presbyterians eat?
Pescatarians, not Presbyterians.
Whatever,
I don't
bro.
know what Presbyterians
Pes.
eat.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I'm not a Seventh-day Adventist.
Well, that's different than
I know. I'm just being.
You don't eat fish?
No, I do eat fish.
Okay.
That's it.
Chicken?
No, just fish, and vegetables and fruit.
Fish is the only meat?
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that since
Fish,
January 1.
vegetables, and food. No rice?
Yeah, rice is okay.
Oh, okay.
So I have
All right.
sushi. I'll do sushi.
Okay.
Well, that's fish.
Yeah.
Well,
And
he asked
rice.
about
Fish and
rice.
rice. Fish and
He
rice.
asked about rice, so I was like, yeah, I'll do sushi.
Any diet where you can't eat sushi, you should just like jump off a cliff. Like it's stupid. Why would you do that diet?
Wow.
Wow.
Why would you do that about your life?
Yeah.
But
Why would you
yeah,
do
no.
something where you
Once
can't
I,
eat
I'm
sushi?
thinking
but
about losing weight, but the diet I have, no, I'm gonna kill myself instead.
Yeah, it's better.
that is the option.
Look, some forms of self-torture is just torture. Why would you do that?
Wow.
I think all forms of self-torture are torture.
Yeah, but it might have a purpose.
I mean,
you know
torture's
what
in the
I mean?
name. Torture's in the name.
Torture
You
is there.
might torture yourself and lose some weight. It might have been worth it. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay,
you know,
that's fair.
denying yourself sushi just to be doing like that's stupid. Why would you do that?
The thoughts of Steve Huff.
I was really trying to play something. I lost it. The song's not there anymore.
Mm.
No more quirky party guys.
Yeah. Where's
I don't
all
know
your
where it's
stuff?
at.
Where's all your stuff? You didn't give me any. That's what she said or anything.
Boo.
I don't
No
know.
more quirky. I don't care about any of the rest of it. No more quirky
I
party.
gotta find it. I must have moved it to a
Man.
different
When I
hard
hear
drive.
quirky party, it's winning time. Dun, 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 dun. Dave's gonna win at trivia.
Terrible song. Oh,
That sounded great to me.
the song that just brings sadness to my day.
Not mine.
I'm like
I feel
somebody
like Robert
paid
Du-
for this.
I feel
Someone
like Robert
paid for
Duvall
this
in
guy.
Apocalypse Now, where it's like smells like victory.
Wow.
Dave, you need real help.
Ah.
real help.
Hey,
Oh my goodness, that's too
at
funny.
least he ain't a Presbyterian.
You gotta end the show like
That's
that.
it.
You gotta end the show right.
Wow.
Dave still eat a burger.
Oh no.
Clearly,
Oh,
Steve,
my goodness.
fat as can be.
That is too
You're not
funny.
fat, Dave.
Oh no, I am very fat right now.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Get back. No time for the gym.
No, the sad part is I still do cardio like every day.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's all diet.
I need to
son.
lift.
Dang.
Yeah, you
You
got
do
to lift.
cardio
I need to
every day?
lift.
Let me start doing cardio. Y'all start asking me what's wrong.
Yo, that stuff.
I've been there before.
You don't do cardio?
Everybody on that stuff.
Almost none.
I mean, you do look a little like Barkley in that jersey.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's all kinds of cold, but I'm starting to my legs have starting to finally build up, so I can start
Okay.
actually running.
All right. But can you
Do
don't?
you like running?
No, I
Okay.
hate it with every
No, the
ounce of my
key,
being.
the key to that is the key to the cardio is the iPad. That is the key.
Yeah. I'll
I
agree
just put
there.
on something I would watch anyway.
See, in my gym that I pay a lot to not go to, they have a room in there where they actually show a movie.
Oh, you go to
It's a
EOS.
dark room.
You go to
and
EOS.
You could just be in there
That-
watching a movie.
that thing
and
is
it's actually
dangerous.
helped because I'll
That
be
thing
in there
is
like running
dangerous.
for an hour watching Back to the Future.
That thing is
Yeah.
dangerous. I think that's a great idea because
Yeah.
you literally don't pay attention. You just be like, "This is a great movie.
Yeah.
I freaking love Speed.
Not the movie,
That's
just
a
the
different
drug.
drug.
I love Speed. Keanu Reeves.
Listen,
Oh, wow.
download the app, Guerilla Cross, at Guerilla Cross on all social media. We will be back next week or maybe Thursday. It's the playoffs, it's conference finals. We're going to be back
Playoffs?
Thursday. We'll be back Thursday. I'm not sure what time.
Playoffs?
Go see John Wick 3.
I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
Thursday at 6. So actually,
I will
if we
be
do a
going the
show
next week.
Thursday, well, I won't spoil it for you.
I will be going the next week. Shout out Black Terry.